Dark Star Meteor Smasher.
Yeah.
That's definitely his real name. A couple of things you did last session, you guys kind of set up like a mercenary business kind of and spread the word around about it a little bit. And you guys were looking into trying to figure out who smashed the portal in the basement, like who broke that.
Yeah.
And why. And you uncovered a little bit about like what was like why that portal was there as well.
I think I sent a snail mail letter to that wizard.
Athos? Yeah, I think that's correct. You sent a mail, like a letter to Athos asking about it.
Wait. We could just get our war priest to use sending.
Well, you probably could, but I don't know if maybe it's just not something that Trissa thought of.
Yeah, but it's something Mantis thought of.
Sure. So, if you have anything specific you want to do, otherwise I can continue rolling the clock, as it were. It's the end of February at the moment.
I think I maybe want to do some divination on Dark Star Meteor Smasher.
Okay.
Zerdurium's character can also do that, but...
Yeah. So, I don't really know how to play it where, like, I don't think Raziel would have done much divination in the past as a monster hunter, like, maybe trying to find out where a monster's at. But at the same time, like, the spells are available to me. So, as a player, how do you think I should play that? Should I play it as, like, oh, I even though these are available, maybe I don't want to do it or I don't know in character I can do it? Or should I just be like, oh yeah, well, I know that's a thing, so I do it?
Maybe you don't know, and maybe one day you decide to commune and ask your god, and your god's like, here.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of what divination from the perspective of like a divine caster is usually you're asking your god for
Raziel's
guidance.
answer after his divination should be to tell Trissa that my god told me to tell you that he'd be happy to tell you the answers if you started worshipping him.
Trissa didn't suggest that. Mantis did. Trissa's going to go
Still
talk
funny.
to Adiana and have Adiana commune.
Okay.
So
what does it do? That's a yes, no.
Meanwhile, Brugar
I
goes
have
and
some
trains
questions.
his martial prowess at the arena.
Okay. And remember, you guys need a few days anyway, because a bunch of you guys, have paid to have items upgraded. Yeah, I don't think you guys have got them back yet.
Correct. I have like plain old boring daggers. I'm waiting to get my good ones back.
What was the wizard's name again? Athos? Alios? Martian?
Alias.
For which one are you talking about? The one that owned the house before you guys?
The one that owned the house before us, the brother of Xander.
That was Ambrose.
Ambrose. Sorry.
Yeah, too many A names. I should have named him Bambrose or something. There was commune work. Oh, that's a yes/no questions one. Okay.
Or up to 5 reasonable words if you want.
Um,
I like how it's specific like that.
Is that-
5 words.
Is that because Audionic can use it?
No, that's part of commune. If you
Adiana's
don't have a yes or a
is,
no, you can.
No. I'm talking about
Oh.
why he's casting commune. I don't.
Yeah.
It's not on a sorcerer spell list, so.
Yeah. Adiana's casting it.
Do you
Adiana
have,
has it as a spell-like ability.
Cool. Spell-like ability
Once per
preclude you
week.
from needing the 500 gold pieces.
Yeah, it's not quite as frequently as Tiki, but yeah,
That's true.
I'm pretty sure spell-like ability makes it so I don't have to pay the 500 gold pieces.
Hey, she
Okay.
poured like blood, sweat, and tears into that map. Okay.
So
I poured 3 feats
trying
into
to-
this familiar.
Okay.
I'm trying to remember all the stuff going on here, like the big overarching storyline. So I know like the portal broke and all that, great, and we rescued the guy, and I don't remember how that led us to like the water dungeon room place where we met the crazy wizard name I can't ever remember.
Okay, so that one was a little strange. It was a location that was basically there was a map of Magnamar, and that was a location drawn on it, and it was inside the book written by Amber. And you're not really sure why that was drawn to, but it just so happened that you went there. There was somebody there.
But we were looking
And-
in Amber's book around looking for portal information for some reason or another.
Yeah, I guess we're just looking through Ambrose's notes, I think.
Okay, but then last time too was whenever Raziel had the realization that he wants to get revenge for his lost friends.
Right, that was
And
the
he's like,
thing
what,
that
what am I
happened
doing
too.
here? Like this quest is not. It doesn't feel like the quest my God wants me to do. I don't like he feels lost. Okay, so that I'm good now. So if you ask Raziel to help, then he will say something along the lines of, I would like to help you, but I don't know how this would, I don't know what I can do. I'm more of a fighter, and I don't think this is what my God wants me to be doing right now. It doesn't feel like it doesn't add up. Like I'm supposed to destroy a demon lord or something. Demon lord, is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm
That's
supposed to.
that's kind of what you guys were. The
Deklassar.
quest you were on before basically was going after Deklassar.
Yeah. So that's what I would say is like I don't see how this relates to that, and I'm wondering what I need to do. So maybe I will spend some time communing with my god Gazre and trying to get a better sense of my purpose.
Assuming Mads is typing up some questions he wants to get from
I've
communing.
gotten 4 or 2, depending on the answer to question 1.
Okay. I'll also say during the next couple days, you actually do pull in a little bit of mercenary work, but it's mostly things like, hey, we need someone to bodyguard this event that we have going on, do security for an event. It's kind of like minor work.
Sounds like we
minor
get to
work.
roll profession checks.
But you guys-
for this.
But you get some work, yeah. It's just not anything. It's not anything that's going to be anything elaborate. Nobody comes to hire you for a big quest yet.
All right.
A lot of it's wealthy
That's my
people. Some of them
professional-
are. Some of them, you get the sense maybe just want you to. Okay. Some you get paid pretty generously for it too, and some of you think they just want you to have you at their event because you're a minor
Yeah.
celebrity in town.
Yeah, Brugar will make those appearances as long as he's paid a certain amount to just basically stand there. He doubts that his services could be tested during something like this. And if they are, then the person who paid for them just kind of lucks out.
Yeah.
Could charge like a couple of hundred gold maybe for a day's worth of bodyguard and simple standing around.
No, I'll say like over the course of a week you get 210 gold.
Cool.
I don't know if anyone else is working in that as well. Like, is that something that Savoth and Gorig are doing as well? So you might be on call, but
No, I was wrapping spaghetti squash.
yeah, okay.
Ooh.
Yeah. I'm going to say no, they're not doing mercenary stuff. I think maybe Gorg, like, he wants to go play and do stuff outside of town, so they'll probably just go venture around the outskirts.
Okay.
They might help a person
one
in need or
more,
whatever, you know. If
And
somebody's-
then maybe 2 ad-libbed questions.
Yeah, and Raziel's definitely not doing any mercenary work. If you ask, he's just like staying inside a lot at his I don't know, inn or wherever we're staying if we have a place. Oh,
You guys have a
the
house.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, you don't have to
yeah,
stay
I
at the
forgot.
house.
Yeah.
So I have like
Here,
I have
I'll
a
pull you
bed
guys.
that I got, but I have like no other furniture there. And
I mean,
I've been in my room like 12 to 14 hours a day
You could even
Only
like
coming
pick one of
out
these rooms
for
and
like
draw your furniture if you want.
only coming out for like getting food, and that's it. And even then, I'm only eating like 1 meal a day. And my room was the one up here, next to Brugar's. So yeah, I mean, if anyone's really paying
Okay.
attention to Raziel, they're probably kind of worried about him.
So, one thing. Okay, so this communing, is it just commuting in general, or is there a specific deity Adiana is communing with?
Communing to whatever
Okay.
Adiana's deity is, which is probably a lawful, a chaotic good or neutral good deity. Since
Okay.
Adiana's in Azada.
So-
Apparently she's worshipping Desna, so to Desna.
So did Ambrose die of natural causes? The answer you get to that is actually no. Assuming you go on to
Okay, I
question
have the right number of
1.2,
questions then.
did Xander play a part in his demise? The answer to that is actually yes.
Aha!
Do you go to the next one? Did Darkstar Meteor Smasher temporary name play any part in Ambrose's demise? You go to that question too then?
Yep.
The answer to that one's no.
Okay.
Is Darkstar Meteor Smasher still nearby? No. Should we try to keep Darkstar Meteor Smasher away from the underwater tower when we first encounter him? Maybe. Is the equipment we took from the tower of any use or significance to us? Maybe. That's all the
Aha.
questions you get, right?
Yeah, that's 6. Yep. That's all the questions I get.
Okay. For a week at least.
Okay, so we should continue on the follow-up for digging into Ambrose's death, and Xander is at least an accomplice to Ambrose's death. We know that. So that gives us a pretty significant lead.
Which we were kind of
questions
suspecting that
I
anyways.
was going to go if I didn't if number 1 was a no. I would have asked, does Darkstar Meteor Smasher's real first name begin with an A, B, or C?
Oh, okay. Let's go through it all over the course of like many weeks. Eventually, we managed to find his name.
Or I could have said, does it begin with a vowel?
Yeah.
You'd be better off doing
Narrow it down a
binary
lot
search.
more.
Does the name begin with a letter in the first half of the alphabet? And then go from there. By the way, Ron did text me back now.
But if it
Oh,
begins
okay.
with a vowel, which is
You're not gonna like the news.
Which is probably about half of the time. It narrows it down by a significant chunk.
Yeah, it's the same. I mean, you can do guarantee. Well, not guarantee. It's based on letter frequency and name. Anyways, Ron says he's at the Blues game. He got free club seats and forgot to tell us he wouldn't be here.
Oh, okay.
Well,
So
my gut instinct was
can't
correct.
really blame him for that. Can't blame him for not letting us know, though.
Yeah, I can't blame him for letting us know. That's true.
I'm going to go do some gathering information with my friends in low places to see if Xander's still in town.
Okay. You ask around, and it seems that he's recently left on a ship that was headed to Corvosa.
I haven't been to Corvosa.
Yeah. But you also know that
we
he's
can do
probably
teleport shenanigans.
That's true. You also hear that he's supposedly going to be coming back. It's not like it was he's just heading there for business, is what you hear.
I would like to go to the library and check out a picture book of Corvosa.
Okay.
Oh no.
Just in case.
So I was thinking about that spell transport through plants or whatever, but it's like, oh wait, no, I'm not playing Felix.
Aw. So, yeah, during that week as well, all your items you guys paid to get upgraded will start coming in.
Bueno. Alright, I'm looking pretty good now. Got my +2 Cold Iron Warhammer, my +3 full plate, and my +3 Lion Shield.
Well, I have like no gold on my sheet, so I'm pretty sure I already paid for it.
I think so.
Who would we go to? We're probably better at investigating things than the guards are. Because the guards are probably like level 2 NPCs or something.
I will not have you disparage man fat. No, you're probably right. There's probably like a level 5 character in there somewhere with
Right. I'm just saying that even with my like really shitty bluff, intimidate, and diplomacy of just being my charisma modifier at 7.
Mm-hmm.
I think I have about as good of a chance to do anything worth investigating as the guards.
Yeah, I mean, it probably depends a little bit on like who in the guards, but in general, yeah, like if you go in and you try to say, hey, I have a tip, I want you to go look into this tip I have on Xander murdering his brother potentially, and they're like, yeah, sure. They might just send like their lowest level commoner to go investigate it. You know, they might not take it that seriously and then put their top investigator who actually would be good at it.
Xander's company. Like
Xander's company?
Yeah, I want to snoop into that. Maybe another gather information roll.
Okay. What are you trying to find out exactly? Like how it's doing that these days?
Just where it is, where it's located, so I can go do some things that aren't me fumbling around with 7s on the dice. I mean, 7.
Well, you know, you find out that he has that his headquarters is like in Corvosa, and that's probably like where he was headed. That he's been based out of there, and that the only reason that he came in here was at least maybe you kind of gather that, or somebody kind of says, well, I think the only reason why he was even here was because of his brother.
Right.
I mean, he had some other business contacts in here before. That's why he has a little office in there, but it's and it expanded significantly for a while when he was selling Darkwood.
Right. Where would somebody dispose of a body in Magmar? Like a rat catcher's house or something?
What would he? Where would be a good place?
I'm gonna go look and see if there's any bodies that are just laying around dead in the rat catcher's house.
Okay.
You know, there's a dumb luck chance. Like maybe on a 99 out of 100. Not a 100 on a D100, just a 99. It'll be there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
It's not there.
There was a chance.
Do you mention this to anybody else, or is this something that just you are investigating on your own?
Yeah, I mentioned this to everybody else.
All right.
I think Xander did it to his brother for the Darkwood trade.
Yeah, and you're wondering where he'd put a body potentially.
Yeah, where Ambrose.
What are we rolling to try and figure that out? Are you looking, or are you trying to think about it?
I can get everybody.
You think I look like the thinking kind of person? I'm looking.
Everybody can give me an int or wisdom check.
I guess I'll give you a whiz check.
Dang,
right.
Brugar.
I think Brugar
beard.
maybe.
You can't beat the wisdom of a dwarf.
Yeah, Brugar maybe kind of thinks like this seems really obvious. If Ambrose, like maybe would come to the conclusion that if Ambrose got killed by Xander, like he probably would have got rid of the body somewhere in the first world. Who would find it there?
Right. Which means maybe that's why the portal's broken? I don't know.
That doesn't make sense.
Unless someone found out about it and broke the portal trying to trap him there as punishment.
Well,
yeah, maybe.
There's this lover that was mentioned. Maybe he's preventing her or something.
I'm pretty sure the lover was the fey creature that turned us fucking blind.
Maybe, but I think there's a third party because somebody made her go crazy. Like, I doubt she was like that before.
Probably the grief of finding Ambrose's dead body.
I mean, I've seen dead bodies and I'm not grieving like that. Well, I've never been in love though. Poor Savath.
Yeah.
Gord cackles to Savath and says, I love you.
And this is probably a lot Adiana speaking, because fucking Triss is not smart enough for this shit.
Oh. Magical Fantasia is just magical.
I never said she was a super well optimized character.
Not a librarian, you say?
Librarians don't have to be optimized either.
No, but they have all
Although they
the
could be
knowledge.
optimized for librarianing. Well, I think the way that Trissa would go about this is going and confronting Xander head on, and
Wait, did
if
you ask
need
your
be,
god
sort of.
if, like,
Yeah, according to Adiana's communing, he had something to do with Ambrose's unnatural demise.
okay. But that doesn't mean it's intentional, so we should keep that in mind.
That's true, but in the best case scenario for Xander, it's what, manslaughter?
Possibly, yeah. I mean, the other thing to keep in mind is, like if he died in an accident, why didn't he say so?
Right.
Because everywhere you've asked around, people's like, yeah, I'm pretty sure he died of natural causes. This is the first, by divining, basically, that is the first time you've heard anything else other than that he died of natural causes. Very non-specific natural causes at that. You've never got like anything specific, like, oh yeah, like somebody's like, maybe he died of because he's old, he died of heart failure. Like people weren't really sure.
That
Nobody
would fall
saw his
into the
body.
Wait,
immediate natural
I
causes,
thought he had
unless it was
a
heart
he had a
failure
medicine he had to
prompted
take
by
though,
poisoning.
right? Didn't we find out at like the college or the wizardy place from his co-teacher person, the other conjuration dude? Like he had
Professor
some
McKinney?
medicine or something he had to take, or maybe it's just like his health was degrading.
No,
over
he was
the
just old.
while.
He was just old and he had some minor health issues, but mostly it was just that he was old.
Okay, so that's why, that's why everyone.
Yeah, that's why-
I guess it's because he was old.
Yeah.
Okay. But yeah, obviously the divining does not line up with that.
Correct. It's suspicious.
So, how long does it take to get to Corvosa by boat? I ask the party who's been there by boat.
The party would tell you a
mean
week.
Brugar? Did Raziel wasn't with the party. It's only Brugar who's been there by
I
boat,
guess
right?
only. Actually, Brugar's.
I mean,
I
you
think- I don't
guys
think
have
he's-
been back and forth to Corvosa and here.
Actually, I don't think he's ever gone by boat. Well, he might have if before the party, but I guess every time the party's ever been there, you guys teleported there. I think.
Maybe with Raziel. Yeah, I asked Brugar,
If I know, I'll
and
tell
he
him.
tells me a week. So Adiana starts counting on how long it's been since Xander supposedly gone on his boat, and says that I want to try and teleport about the time that he will expect to get there.
You're hunting this guy down now, huh?
Yeah,
Okay. You think you have like a few more days before he'll get there because he left a little less than a week ago.
Yep. I mean, what's the worst that can happen? We end up in some place that looks like Corvosa?
And you're hunting this guy down to know what happened to Ambrose.
Yeah, I mean, I'm an ally of justice. I have to. There's been some injustice here.
Well, I mean, what if you find out and it wasn't injustice?
But he didn't die of natural causes, and his brother had something to do with it.
Alright, but
Seems
that doesn't make it
suspicious.
evil.
I'm not saying it's evil. I'm saying it's manslaughter at the best.
He says, just seems a little, I don't know, funny to me that you're sticking your nose so deep into this man's business, especially after we agreed to do a service for him.
Look, I never liked Xander, and I never trusted him.
But you took his money.
And I told him to not continue his business. I took his money to try and rescue his colleague. Not to restart his business in the Darkwood. Or First World, whatever. The place beyond the portal.
Burgar shrugs his shoulders and he says, I don't know. This might not be something I can do with you. I mean, a mercenary going and hunting down his former employer. That doesn't make for a very good ad.
Look, Brugar, we're allies of justice and mercenaries. Don't worry.
Burgar says, justice and mercenary are two words that don't mix very well together.
I'm with
Well, we'll
Trissa
just
on
have
this
to
one.
make him.
I didn't like that guy, and I don't like what we did there either. I still feel kind of bad about it. Something more meets the eye. Let's figure it out.
Okay, so yeah, that'll be in a few days is when he gets to Corvosa, so you have some time before that. Basically, he'll get to Corvosa when it's March.
Okay.
And in game it's the end of February right now.
I am going to try and figure out what this equipment is. Sort of going off onto a tangent.
Okay. You have Knowledge Arcana? Or Knowledge
do.
Planes?
Skill is trained.
Hey, not for me.
Okay, you think you're not exactly sure what it does, but you think it has something to do with conjuration, and in particular has something to do with the teleportation sub-school.
I'ma go back to the college and speak to Professor, I forget her name. Go into her
Professor-
office hours and say, what does this do?
Professor McKinney?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think it has something to do with teleportation.
Yeah. You do that then. She's happy to look at it, and after she looks at it she doesn't take very long to look at it. She says, "Oh, this is used for finding demiplanes usually. It's used for if you use this with a tuning fork, you can use it to unlock unexplored demiplane locations." Usually it would involve going to somewhere that is aligned with a particular demiplane.
So this piece of equipment plus a tuning fork plus some magic mumbo jumbo aligns it?
Correct. That's a very very straightforward way to put it, but yes. That's essentially what it does. Like I said, you have to go to somewhere very to a place that's like aligned with the demiplane. They usually don't work very well on the material plane, but occasionally you can find somewhere where it can function.
Maybe that tower. Can I get a tuning fork off of you? An unaligned tuning fork, or should I go into the city to get a tuning fork for?
She fishes around and says, "Well, I usually have a lot of these spare, especially especially for teaching some higher level classes." And yeah, she'll give you one.
Okay. I got me the tuning fork. I have a hunch that place where Darkstar Meteor Smasher. Oh, I'll, on the off chance, ask her if she knows anybody by the name of Darkstar Meteor Smasher, name or alias.
No, that doesn't sound familiar at all to me. Are you sure that's a real name? Sounds like
I think it's a villain alias.
That would be a great name for like a fantasy luchador.
Sounds like this sort of sounds like the made up sort of name like Magical Fantasia, but I've never heard of anyone named Darkstar Meteor Smasher.
Well, now you need to start promoting yourself as he's your rival, he's your villain.
Wait a second, time out.
It can become a comic series.
Darkstar Meteor Smasher is the dude who left or whatever his name is, I don't remember.
But yeah, she mentions as well. She's like, I actually know somebody who's able to do this without a device like this. But so he lives in Corvosa.
I'm pretty sure that's that dude.
Yeah, he lives in Corvosa.
In Corvosa, yeah.
Yeah. Raziel and Brood are known too. But... Mm-hmm. So yeah, basically this device does what that guy does.
Then I might say like, oh yeah, I met him.
Well, if you're there, I thought just Trissa was here, but
there.
I think just Trissa's here. Nobody else said.
Okay, then I don't say anything.
Nobody piped in earlier and said, "I go along."
It's fine.
But anyway, so I got myself a tuning fork. I got myself a device to tune the tuning fork to. And I have a place where I think it might be used.
Okay.
So I am going to try and get Raziel's help. Raziel, are you able to cast Life Bubble or Air Bubble?
Trissa knocks on his door. He comes out, and that's like the first thing she says.
I don't cast anything. My god grants me powers.
Can your god grant me the power of breathing underwater,
What is your purpose?
I want to go back to that tower, and I want to attune this tuning fork using this doohickey that attunes tuning forks, and maybe Darkstar Meteors. That's what Darkstar Meteor Smasher was doing.
But what is the benefit to my god that you do this? Why would he grant you this blessing? What's your motive?
Because Darkstar Meteor Smasher's unnatural, and he's doing things that your god wouldn't like.
What things is he doing?
I don't know, but he's up to no good. Trust my gut instinct on this one.
Killing
Okay,
his
I
brother, for
will.
example?
No, he's not.
No, that's not this guy.
Wait, I thought Darkstar with Meteor
Well,
Smasher was the brother.
I said
No,
what if
that's
he
Xander.
is. I said what if Xander and Darkstar Meteor Smasher are the same person? Like, what if?
I mean, it's possible.
We've never seen them together at the same time. I'm just saying.
That's true. It could just be a disguise of Xander's that he turns into Darkstar Meteor Smasher, the Vigilante.
Anyway, so Raziel says he will ask his god, and I'll let you know tomorrow. AKA,
Okay.
I need to prepare spells and and check if Godray wants me to do it too. What? Sorry, you said air bubble. What? Out of character. What was the other one you said?
Air bubble,
Or life bubble.
or underwater breathing.
So definitely air bubble. Out of character. Definitely air bubble. I didn't get the sheet up to life bubble.
It's on
Can't
the
do
cleric
life
spell
bubble,
list,
that's
but it might be
fifth
too
level.
high a level. Yeah.
Can't do life bubble. Water breathing.
Yeah. I mean, I suppose you could do, like,
But
Aboleth
there's like
lung or whatever the thing Tiki used.
water breathing works. We can do that.
Okay.
So anyway, I'm fairly sure I cast. Did I cast water? I know I cast like water
You
walking
cast
last
water
time.
walking.
I'm trying to think if I cast water breathing earlier with the other party.
Aboleth's lungs is
It's on
only
your spell
available to the Gripply.
I know.
So he
I'm just trying to think if
able
Raziel, the character, knows. I'll just say I will ask Godray and let you know tomorrow.
Sure.
If your purpose is true, then of course I will help you.
Okay.
As they do some like soul searching to try to determine if that's the case.
I mean, I've been like basically praying and communing with my deity a
Sure.
lot for like the past few days, trying to like understand, what my purpose is, and then I'll mention today, that
Mhm.
not Amber, Magical Fantasia, Trissa came asking for this to investigate this Darkstar Meteor Smasher. I mean, is this the path you want me to follow? Is this gonna lead to me fulfilling my destiny? I don't know. I don't know how you commune with gods. I don't know. But
Well, there's
basically those are
spells
the
that do
kinds of
it,
things
too.
I'm wondering you're saying.
But
Oh,
apart
so
from
you're
that,
saying,
yeah.
You're saying like, because that's
I don't know
the
if you're
thing,
actually
too,
doing
is-
that. Yeah, you could do without spells and just hope that Gosray hears you.
So that's I guess
There's just
my
less guarantee.
okay. I'll actually. Is it okay if we retcon that I prepared divination before because I said I was going to commune, but I didn't
Sure.
explicitly mean like actually commune. And then I think it's just commune is the spell, right?
Well, there's
That's the
multiple
most
different ones. There
expensive
actually
one.
there
If you
is
want
a
single
one called
question-
divination.
Yeah, you should use that one.
Like divination only requires incense or an appropriate offering, I should say, worth 25 gold pieces. So you
Okay.
probably could get like a little gem or something maybe
Sure.
or something that's worth 25 gold.
A very nice conch shell.
A potion of vanish.
A potion
Okay,
of
so-
vanish
Oh,
would not be an
yeah.
appropriate offering.
God
It's
would
not an
love
appropriate offering
that.
because there's no deity. Well, Gosray at least would not want a potion of vanish.
No.
Not an appropriate offering. They don't want something that useless.
Gosray would rather be
Okay.
large and in charge.
So yeah,
Yeah.
I'll offer like a 25 gold like small gem, and commune with my god after Trista talks to me. Let's subtract gold. That's 19, 20, 22, 24, 25. Okay. And my question is, that's a useful piece of advice. Reply to a question regarding a certain goal within a week. Blah 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 blah
Your
blah.
cast level's 10, right?
Yeah. Well, no. We're higher than level 10.
Or 11? What level are you guys?
He's got
11,
to
okay.
level
Level 11.
11. So 81%.
Yeah, I think you're good.
So my question is should I help Trissa in revealing the truth about what's it, Ambrosa or whatever's death, and investigating Darkstar Meteor Smasher, which may or may not be related, I don't know. But should I continue with like Trissa and with this party even and investigating this stuff? Is this the path that you have planned for me?
Okay. I will say you do this before going to bed or something, and you kind of get the sense that you'll have an answer as you sleep, basically.
Okay.
So, as you sleep, you have like a dream that kind of is somewhat prophetic, and you kind of get
Somewhat
this.
prophetic. Not too prophetic.
Not too prophetic. It's kind of vague as the spell works, but what you see basically is you kind of feel like you are like something like you're in a immaterial form riding along an ocean-going wave, or a wind rather, riding along the ocean,
I like it.
and your path is kind of swirling around, and it kind of doesn't feel like you look around in all directions, and all you see is a vast horizon. No sense of going, and for a moment you panic, but you hear a voice, kind of, it has like a double tone voice basically telling you to just trust in the wind and let it carry you to your proper destiny. If you trusted it, that it'll take you to where you need to go.
Okay.
And you kind of wake up, and it maybe, hopefully at least, is somewhat reassuring, but maybe not.
I feel
you feel
lost,
somewhat comforted by it.
but I feel comforted knowing that I am meant to feel lost right now.
Perfect.
It's not my job to know all that is going to happen. That's Gosray's job. My job is to just be a loyal follower.
So basically, your
I
answer
feel
is
comforted.
let the wind take you to your destination.
Yeah, isn't there a spell that turns me into vapor wind or something? I think that's what the message is. Cast that.
Airwalk
so
does
everywhere
that.
we're gonna go, he's gonna like lick his finger and then stick it into the air, and then he's gonna say,
there is
"This
wind.
way."
He could go get a wind to go to wind.
He almost. I mean, that would make sense because Gosray is the god of the wind and
Like
the waves,
wind, ocean,
right?
nature. Yeah.
Yeah, the wind and the waves. Those are like the two things for Gosray.
Yep.
Being a Gosray worshiper basically means you're Talon from Soul Calibur.
Dang, I don't.
Talab. I hated playing against that character.
I don't know what that. I don't get it.
She's like my main in Soul Calibur 6.
Is she like
She's the token,
does she have,
very
like-
squeaky, very fast, campy character in every fighting game.
She's not even in like that many Soul Calibur games either. It makes me
I don't,
sad.
yeah, I probably don't know her because I only played Soul Calibur 2. I don't know if she's in that.
She was in
So
Soul
did
Calibur 2.
Gazray
She was good in
correct,
Soul
I don't
Calibur
remember
2.
water breathing?
Well,
I
what's
mean,
the question?
I guess that depends on how Raziel interpreted that dream.
Raziel's although very a very physical and martially kind of person, he also has a lot of wisdom and knows when things are.
You can probably tell that
metaphors.
Yeah, you could definitely tell that the message that they were trying that your deity was trying to tell you is to kind of go with the wind, go with the flow, as it were.
Yeah. So I will, if we're next morning or whatever, I will prepare water breathing.
Nice. You might also want to prepare water walking, because we might want to walk back out there. Because teleporting directly in there might not be a good idea.
Sure.
Because did not study.
When you talk to me the next morning, I'll say that I have everything prepared for us to go back out there.
Cool.
I talked to. I was given a vision by Gazray, and I believe that this is the right course for us to follow.
Okay.
And I tell the rest of the party that I plan to go back out to that tower place with Raziel. You want to come?
The tower place, you mean out in the ocean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're gonna go do some swimming.
This tower that for some reason there was a map in Amber's book.
Gorg shakes his head no when you say swimming. He's like, no, I don't want to go swimming.
Oh yeah,
So-
Waterwalk's one where you don't want the communal version.
That's correct. I think the communal version is just bad. I think
It's
it's the
literally
communal
just
version is
bad.
the one that shouldn't exist.
Yeah.
Like they
Communal version
meant
is a
it.
mistake.
Yeah, I think they actually wrote it because whoever put that spell, like they probably wrote it because at one point, it wasn't the normal version wasn't communal, and then they changed their mind before it got published, and they forgot to take out the communal version. I'm pretty sure that's what happened.
Yeah. So anyways. We good. We Gucci. It's just some third
I'm
level
not Gucci.
stuff.
Alright, well,
You don't wanna
I
go?
guess
Well,
I'll
else do I even
protect you
get a
while
day?
you're... I'll protect you while you're snooping around that tower.
Okay.
I only
Cool.
get 3 God, I get so few spells as a war priest.
And I won't have to concentrate this time because I don't have to.
I mean, I have less
Breathe.
spells than you.
I mean, I can
water
breathe.
walk, water breathing.
I'm not going to take any books or anything with me. I'm leaving those back home.
Okay.
We'll
So
go,
no
but I'll
paper's
talk
getting
Gorg into going. That it's not just swimming. We're gonna explore.
Okay. And Brugar's going too?
Yeah, I'm just there to protect Trissa.
Do we have to dismiss the water walk? Should you prepare it twice? So that
No,
we
I
get
can
back?
teleport us back.
Okay.
I just
But since I
can't
know
get
we're
us.
swimming, I'm...
Well, alright, so let's see. You guys walk out there then. And I guess we'll need like a check to see if you guys, because the thing is, this time there's not a gaping hole in the water to show you
How
where
do
it's
you
at.
find
So, how do you find it? Yeah, do somebody have like a survival roll they can make to
Detect
get you there?
magic.
I think Sivat had a compass, and we had
I
the
do
map.
have a compass.
And
Yep.
And
Gives
there's a
you- make-
survival
it
roll to
shouldn't-
try and follow it.
It'll make it easier. Okay. Raziel is able to get you guys there then, as well.
Okay.
Figured
Oh,
as a
no.
wisdom-based character with survival as a class skill, I should put 1 rank in it. So I did.
Yeah,
that.
no, Raziel does it with the help of the map, in particular, and maybe the compass as well. He's able to get you there pretty easily, and he's like, it's right here. Like you maybe can't see it right now, but it's right down there.
I know that the reason I found it so easily is because it's the right thing I'm supposed to be doing.
You were
right
meant
now.
to.
Gosray helped me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
It's
we
the ocean.
can get water breathed and then dismiss the water walk, and we can watch Brugar sink.
Yes, yes. Patience.
I'm actually
Don't
a
you want to
pretty
just
decent swimmer,
enjoy
even
this
in my
beautiful
armor.
ocean?
I'm not.
I put points in the swim. This is my swim with that armor on.
I don't know why it's rolling.
But I
so much
can
shit,
swim with my
but
mind.
I'm hitting the button.
Jankily.
Yeah, I like how the spell failure chance, even though like you're a divine caster, so you don't have to worry about that. I guess it's useful
yeah,
if you ever get deafened.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just on from my full play,
Yeah.
but it's yeah.
All right.
By
So
the way,
you
all these
do that-
spells I manually copied out of the SRD online and put into my spell in Roll20. Just appreciate
Damn, that's
the effort.
dedication. Yeah, it's way more effort than I put into any of this.
This is the character.
I am impressed.
This is the character that I spent like weeks building. Anyways, so yeah,
Alright.
we swim down.
Okay. You do, and the tower's there as you left it. You kind of go into you're able to swim down into into that room where you guys saw Dark Star Meteor Smasher, real name. And you see, as you left it, there's nobody there right now, and you see kind of like floating water, like floating papers and such in there. Illegible from the damages of the ocean, but so like a bit
I'm
of a mess in
detect
there.
magic. I don't think there's any magic down here. Like,
Yeah, you don't detect any magic.
Say we did last time, I thought,
but
but maybe something
I
changed.
I
You
think
did, and it was a thing you guys grabbed.
Oh yeah, that's right. And then there was nothing else. Yeah.
There might be like some sort of convergence property with maybe a demiplane or some sort. So I'm gonna get out my doohickey that I grabbed. And I'm gonna get out my tuning fork. And I'm gonna use them.
Okay.
You're gonna add them together to equal a tuning fork.
Okay.
Fork.
And you it's muffled by the sound of the water, but you kind of hear the tuning fork kind of making a number of different noises, like a kind of a vibrating
Ooh.
tone. And eventually, it's oscillating around, going from high to low, and eventually it stabilizes on a single low-pitched tone.
Careful, it's oscillate.
And you think, from even though this is your first time using it, you think that it is attuned to something now.
Well, now we have, out of character, we have another reason to go to Corvosa. We can go see that guy with the, who likes to plane shift all over the place. And we can be like, can you take us here? I don't know if you've been here yet.
Yeah.
They'll see me and Brugar and be like, oh no, what do these guys want this time?
What are these fools doing here?
Yep, it's never good.
Theoretically, Raziel could use it himself just to plane shift to wherever that goes to. Like, he has access to plane shift, right? Or do you not have it yet?
Not yet. It's level 5.
I don't think I do. I was trying to look
Okay.
that up earlier.
We'd still
So, yeah.
we'd have to get somebody to make us a scroll with the tuning
Attuned.
fork, I think.
Yes.
But we have the tuning fork, so we could just commission a scroll.
That's correct, yeah.
Yeah.
It's sort of what you
Why
guys
were we
did
going
last
oh yeah,
time.
the other dude was going to
Perfect.
Corvosa. Yeah.
Because I think you guys still. I don't
Last
know
time I
who
plane
has.
shifted out of the place.
Yeah, I don't know who
when the
has
whole
the
party
tuning
died,
fork
so.
for the that you guys got from Athos last time, but you still have that tuning fork as well, I believe, right?
I would
And that's
assume
how you guys did it last
I
time.
have
Is
it.
you had. Yeah, maybe.
I don't think Brugar would keep something like that.
Yeah, I know Amber had it before, but
Yeah.
so that's what you guys did last time. Is you got that tuning fork and you had somebody make a plane shift scroll with it, and a couple that would bring you back to material plane as well. All right, yeah, you guys got the tuning fork. Assuming then you guys teleport back home to Magnamar
Yeah.
with the dimension door or whatever, or just regular old teleport.
Yeah,
I think it's close enough that you can
I
do a
just use
dimension door
regular
though.
old teleport.
Rolled up our set edge.
Okay.
It's probably not gonna do anything, but maybe.
We're fine.
Yeah, you're fine. It's like, damn it, I need you guys to fail that.
What?
Oh. I was talking about the teleport percentage dice to get back to Magnamar. Like, damn it, I wanted you guys to fail it.
Your
Not
whole
really, actually.
game is ruined now. You have to go
Whole game's-
repair.
Whole game's ruined. I have to re-prepare everything.
There's
Yeah,
a
we have to
3%
restart the campaign.
chance that we get off target or are in a similar area.
Alright, do you guys do anything for the next couple days before you guys decide to teleport to Corvosa? Assuming you guys are still doing that.
I'll go back to the college and I'll ask if the chick can make me a scroll of plane shift with this tuning fork that I've attuned to some demi-plane.
She will do it, but not for free.
Oh yeah, of course. And a scroll of plane shift back to the material plane.
Let's see, where are the prices on scrolls again?
Oh, actually, maybe I should not go to her. I should probably find a cleric.
Find a cleric so you can get a divine version that Raziel can use.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you could use one if it's the arcane one, right?
Maybe.
Or
But
no,
it
I
does cost
guess-
a lot more.
Yeah,
I can UMD
that's
it.
fair. Yeah.
Yeah, get the cheaper one. I can do it. Just need
So it's a
Oh, yeah,
5th
I
level
guess I
cleric
got to
spell,
level two.
right? It's a 5th level cleric
Yeah,
spell.
Yeah.
So yeah, it'll cost
Fifth level.
1,125 gold for one of them.
Yeah, I'll get
If you
two.
want 2 of them, then 2,500.
Yeah.
So you're
I'll
buying
get
them, or are we
that.
splitting it between the party?
I'll get it. It's something that
So I have enough to
I'm looking
share the
into.
cost, but
You want to share the cost? Okay.
I said I
Uh,
have enough if we split it with the party. I have not very much gold though. But I also don't want you to have to like pay for everything, you know.
I will consider this my upfront fee into hiring Brugar to come along with me.
Oh, you're hiring me now. And that is to do
not
what?
yet. But I am hiring you on the chance that we get loot from doing things in other places.
You're offering an adventure that may have benefit.
I am offering
rewards.
the opportunity to get loot.
But I mean but this dwarf isn't he's keen. He's a wise dwarf. And should you hire him, he will tell you that my services come with the clause that I will not raise my weapon against a former employer.
Well, that's good because this has nothing to do with your former employer as far as I know. Unless you were at any time employed by Darkstar Meteor Smasher.
Just sounds like a coincidence since we're going to Corvosa, and that's where Xander is.
This is like we're exploring two separate story threads, I think. They might be related, but as far as I'm concerned, I'm exploring two separate story threads at the same time.
You know what was funny is I was actually anticipating, like, if you guys did try to get her to come with you, like, we had to take down Xander, he would actually probably say no. So I've been getting ready a substitute character in case that happens.
Oh.
And I have one.
I mean, like, we know that Xander is not something to, like, he's not super hard to take on in combat, because we've seen him fight things.
Yeah, no, it's probably one of those things. You guys probably just say, we're gonna go get Xander, you guys are gonna get him. Like, it's probably not even gonna be something I spend any time on other than saying, yeah, sure, you got him now. Like, he's not...
Right.
Maybe.
He's not super powerful.
I was just checking, making sure.
It's not going to be like a huge mega
Xander,
dungeon. Get
we
Xander!
don't need Brugar's help.
Yeah.
And that's good, because he would probably not want to. He needs to keep some kind of policy. His honor.
Say out of these two story threads, one of them has potential to be dangerous, and it's not the Xander storyline.
Oh, really?
Oh.
Yeah, I won't tell you which one's potentially dangerous, but it's not the Xander storyline.
But we have to get justice.
I'm not saying it's not worth
But I mean-
pursuing. I don't think it's
But
the
yeah,
one that's dangerous.
if you're going to pay Brugard to bodyguard you
Considering
and
he
follow
just
you, then
Gave us his house, yeah.
that's something he will do.
I am paying you by upfronting the cost of going place that might be dangerous. And the return trip.
She's paying you with danger.
Yeah, the opportunity to show his skills off. And get some loot in a place that's not the material place.
Off to the side, I tell Brugar, you know, remember how I was telling you about some of my uncertainty about what my destiny is? Well, I talked with Gazre, he showed me a vision, and I think we should go along with these people for now. I think it will lead us to getting revenge for our fallen friends.
That's what your god tells you, Raziel, but I've trusted me gut for many long years.
Okay. Well, I mean that's fine. I'm just trying to
that's something that
give you insight as to like why you should go along with this and not like try and get paid or something.
He like and he says, "Listen, I know what Trissa is up to." He says, "She's not actually going to pay me. I'm just coming with and letting her know that I ain't gonna raise my weapon against Xander."
Yeah, that's fine.
Even
You
though
can stay home
we
in the
think
cabin
Xander
for
killed
that.
his own brother.
And I say, well, if that was true, we don't know yet, then that is something that I don't condone, but I ain't, I'm not a justice keeper, I ain't a judge. I'm a mercenary. I'm hired muscle. I do work for people who pay me. It ain't my place to be asking of the morals of people, whether they've done something in the past or if they're gonna do something later.
Okay.
That's
So
very neutral of you.
yeah. So we go.
Yeah.
That's the long story short.
So do
Let's
we
get
want to
some
go?
action.
Let's go deal with Xander first. I feel like that's gonna be easier.
Okay.
Oh no. You wait.
So I
When you
am
say
going
deal
to
with
attempt
Xander-
to teleport the party
No,
to
no,
Corvosa.
no.
The day before he is supposed to arrive there by boat. I've never been to Corvosa before.
Fun.
No.
What fun.
I described Corvosa to Trissa
Yeah, she's like, I've
in as
seen
much detail as I can.
pictures.
I'm sure you have.
49 actually is probably good enough anyway, though.
I got us there!
So, yeah. You're, despite having never physically seen it, having seen paintings and having heard it described, she's able to get you there. Does that work, or you have to have seen it at least once?
I mean, there's false
No, I think
destination on there.
Yeah, I think you're able to. I think you're able to get there. I don't see why not. It'd probably be about like under the viewed once table, but
Right.
all right. So yeah, you appear in Corvosa amongst like or in like one of the more notable landmarks in there. Let me look at the Corvosa map here. Where would you guys be at? Oh man. All right, I'm gonna just play you guys this map, and then we'll rearrange the tokens. But this last time we were on here, I think the last time we were on here was right after half the party died. So we have like the old Triss icon here that I was using. I need to like. Okay, I need to archive some of these maps. It's too hard to find. Drag you guys over to it.
Just not the forest map. The forest map must be there for every forest random encounter ever in both of our Thursday games.
Yeah. Yeah, that map's too important. All right, here we go.
That's a big Trissa icon.
Yeah, so obviously we don't need that one.
This one can go off into a corridor and get an X on it.
I guess I already have like. There's already a Brugar token on here. I don't need two.
2 Brugars.
WTF, 2 Brugars? So yeah, you guys would end up probably right outside Castle Corvosa, in fact. One of the most notable landmarks in Corvosa would have probably been what Trissa would have focused in on from basically going off of a description and drawings.
Sweet.
And it's kind of dreary here. Like there's more, it's cloudier down here than it was in Magnamar. But you're here you're here now. You get there instantaneously, and you expect that his boat should be arriving sometime within the next day.
Hey, Tiki's here.
Her grave, maybe.
That's what
In
you
the bottom
think.
left.
Yeah, because
Anyway.
I didn't put an X over the token.
Aw.
Yep. Oh.
Alright, there we go. And go join
Okay.
the Amber tokens. Alright, so what do you guys do? Now you're in Corvosa. Wander around, explore Corvosa.
Get a hotel by the docks.
Okay.
And try and find out where Xander's business is set up in Corvosa.
Okay. Go ahead and roll gather information. Alright, well you get the hotel part at least. You get a hotel by the dock. Not able to really get any information about Xander's business.
I can try asking around. No.
Maybe Adiana has better luck.
People are always more interested in, dragons!
Oh, Adiana definitely has better luck.
That's better.
Wait, what was she again?
I
fairy, or what was
am
she?
not good, but
An Azada Lyrican.
Is that a fae?
No, it's
No.
an Azada.
It's an Azada, they're like angels or something.
Oh.
They're
Is she
good
medium-sized
outsiders.
Then, or
No, she's small or
She's
tiny.
tiny? Oh, okay. Are they like humanoid shaped?
She looks like a fairy, but
Okay.
she's
Yeah, they look-
not a fairy.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay.
Alright, well, I mean, Adiana's able to get the information eventually. Somehow. She's able to, like, find some people that are willing to talk to her. Even with, some penalties for being an Azada. Asking around Corvosa, and people being weirded out by an Azada flying around.
I'm sure
They point you out. Yeah, they've seen. I mean, Corvosa's got some
Mhm.
weird stuff in it too. It's not Kaer Maga weird, but
Right.
it's kind of weird in its own way.
There's probably a bunch of imps.
Yeah, that's probably part of why. That's part of why people are like uncomfortable about it. They're used to. This city has a more devilish influence, especially with its ties to Cheliax.
So wait, hold on. I asked Trissa and the gang, so we're just trying to find out what Xander did concerning his brother.
Yeah, and if that means shaking him down, it means shaking him down. Like, I'm not gonna kill him or anything. You don't have to join us in shaking him down if you don't want.
But see, the problem is I'm here.
Well, go off and do something else.
But I know what you're gonna do. Is there something maybe we can say to him to get him to simply tell you what you want to hear?
I don't know. What do you have in mind?
Well, barring money, is there something about his well-being that could hinge on us knowing what happened to Ambrose?
I mean, we could say to him, we found out that, your brother didn't die in natural causes. We found his body in the first world back when we went to investigate it.
Did we find his body?
No, we're lying.
Ugh. I'd roll my eyes.
But we're pretty sure that's where he would have hid the body if he had hid the body.
If you can fool him with a lie, then props to you. What about this Dark Star Meteor Smasher? He has something to do with Ambrose, right?
Maybe, but not his death.
But he has something to do with him, right?
He did
He's
not
looking
think
for something
fondly
that
of him.
Ambrose.
That's all we know.
I stroked my beard. What could we do to get Xander to tell us without having it come down to an altercation?
Well, I plan to go by his business place tomorrow. If you can think of something in between now and then, I'm all ears.
I mean, I don't know. I think we should just knock on the door and ask harder questions.
Yeah, that's my plan.
Yeah, I
But
agree.
Brugar doesn't feel like that's good enough. So I'm gonna go without him if he doesn't think of something good enough and he doesn't want to be part of the shakedown.
I mean, he's gonna go with you, but yeah, like he's not gonna participate in the shaking down, and he might actually try to stop it.
Oh dear.
He doesn't like Triss's chaoticness.
Isn't it just Triss's chaos?
That's what I said.
Trissa is
Chaoticness.
CG.
Okay.
Yeah, she's a loose cannon.
Well, we don't have to always fight to solve problems, so that's fine. You don't have to raise your weapon. But if he attacks Trissa, I will raise my weapon to protect her.
Yeah, I mean, I'll keep him from attacking her.
But I do want answers, because this is all too fishy.
Although he looks at Trissa and says she's not the young little green girl that I thought she was.
Well, that sounds like a personal thing you need to sort out.
That's right, and she puffs out her chest.
Let's just say that Raziel is planning on a fight tomorrow,
Oh, okay.
but
Okay.
I just anticipate that's what
I
it's gonna
don't
turn
think you
into.
need to like prepare for
Not-
a
Yeah,
fight.
Not like not
No,
like
you guys-
big.
You guys want to roll a knowledge roll to figure out what sort of preparations to make?
No, we don't need
brain
Make a
any
knowledge
preparations.
local.
Oh, I know. I know.
Knowledge
what
local to
knowledge-
figure out his strengths and weaknesses.
I know a knowledge roll to make.
Knowledge fighter, that's pretty reasonable. Yeah, judging by the last time you encountered him, you're pretty sure you could take him unarmed.
Oh yeah,
I'm
he's
pretty
not who
sure,
I'm worried about.
like,
It's Triss.
Adiana has a good chance of defeating him 1v1.
You think that everybody, like that Adiana probably wouldn't lose to him, at least, even if she didn't have a way to actually beat him either.
Yeah, he's not a threat, but he knows more than he told us.
She'll, what's that, Lyrican ability? Like, every D4 rounds, she'll, do like a D4 damage.
I was gonna say Philippe lives here, but no, he doesn't. He lives in Maga, right? That's where he moved to, where he's living now.
Yeah,
So yeah,
I
he's
think
not
I
here.
thought he went to Magnamar. Oh.
He came from Magnamar originally, but he moved when you guys resurrected him. When Zidorium retired him, he basically retired him to stay. He stay in Maga. All right,
Okay,
you guys,
so, like-
anything else you want to do before that day then?
Not unless somebody else suggests something.
Wait, hold on. Are we only trying to figure out what happened to Ambrose just to see what we do with Xander? Or is there's something that we need to know about Ambrose, right?
Yeah, how
what he
he
was
died
doing.
and why'd he die and that sort of thing.
Okay, I will tell you this, Mel. Well, you technically wrote a letter about a week ago to ask
Oh yeah.
Athos, because Athos, who lives in Corvosa, well, he doesn't. A lot of times he moves around a lot, but he has an office here in the academy. He teaches there sometimes, and
I suppose we could go see him and see if he got the letter.
yeah.
Good.
So you guys did have, because there was correspondence. You guys were able to read one side of the correspondence, basically, where Ambrose was writing to him, and he actually even sold Ambrose some of the stuff that he used to make that portal.
Thanks for reminding me, Adiana. I completely forgot I wrote that letter.
So that's something you guys could do as well right now. I don't know if you want to, but you can.
Sure. I'm gonna go stop by this college.
The academy.
Yeah, why don't
Okay.
we go check that out?
You mean the
Maybe we'll
academy?
know what we need to know about Ambrose there.
Well, they know
Okay.
Ambrose, you think? He wasn't that big, was he?
Yeah, at least the dimension hopping guy or demi-plane hopping guy does.
You know
Okay.
at least that Athos knows him, because they wrote letters back and forth to each other.
That's
And-
that's right. When they're doing
yeah.
the building of the portal. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So you know his response. Basically, he responded back. He was like, "Yeah, I think what you're doing is really dumb. But if you pay me this money, I'll do it anyway.
Yeah,
I'll give you,
yeah,
I'll
that's
show you
right.
this stuff anyway." So
And then
you
it
don't-
turned out that it was actually his brother funding the whole thing too. Not
well, his
the
brother
wizard.
paid. Okay, yeah, that's the thing. So
It was
he asked for all this
Xander paying.
money. Yeah, so Athos asked for a bunch of stuff, and he's like, if you pay me all this money, I'll give you what you want. And that was like what you kind of piece together. Is like, okay, so after that, he went and he was like, I don't have that money, so he went and talked to Xander to help him bankroll it. So, all right, you guys go to the academy, and Razel and Brugar would know right where to go to, like where his office is.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh man,
And they
I'm
know-
like he's not gonna be happy to see us. Although we went okay last time.
Yeah, no, he
ended
probably
on
is
good
fine
terms.
as long as you don't try to break into his office again. He'll be fine.
I'll make a joke about it when we first see him. Like, oh yeah, funny not seeing you angry at us for breaking into your office.
Yeah, and I mean, this time when you go and like kind of knock at his door, like he actually
I didn't break into his office.
No, nobody did. He just considered it. That's all. When you guys, he actually answers the door, and you see him,
All right.
and he looks. He's it's you again.
Aye.
Did you get my
And,
letter? Nice to meet you. Trissa reaches out a hand to try and shake his hand.
He kind of gingerly accepts your handshake and says, I'm afraid I don't know what you're talking about. I get a lot of letters these days,
I'm Trissa.
but come in. And he invites everybody in,
All right.
and yeah, he has like he's got like lounge chairs and whatnot, and he says, "This about the same thing as last time."
Actually, no.
I don't see all of you here. How did
I'd say
that
not
go?
Not everybody
I
made
thought-
it.
I thought they went to him and
No, we
he was like, "Oh, we retconned that."
We
they
retconned
didn't
that.
Go to him.
yeah. That was something that was a hypothetical. It didn't actually happen. So this is the first that he's heard about that. And so at that point, yeah, he'll say like, "Well, I told you it was really dangerous. That you probably had no business being there. That's why I never went there. When I went there myself. It was whatever that guardian was guarding was probably even more dangerous than it. I'm sure."
Yeah.
What brings you here today, then?
This isn't about that, though. I turned to...
So young lady says something about a letter. I don't think I've gotten it.
Well,
Pulls up a stack and starts of like papers and kind of starts thumbing through it.
there was this wizardy dude in Magnamar who we got involved with his brother, who may or may not be a murderer. And you helped him build a portal to the first world or something. But we didn't know why he wanted to do it and why you thought it was a terrible idea. So we're here to ask you about that.
He kind of sighs, kind of flops the papers down. He says, "Oh, that. It was very stupid. He fell in love with some nymph, I think, and wanted to build a portal so that he could get there more easily. That's the best that I was able to surmise." Now he told me as well something about he said something about wanting her help with something as well, but I'm pretty sure that it was more that he was smitten by this nymph, as these creatures are wont to do. But his money was good, so I gave him the parts needed to open a permanent gate to the first world. You said he's dead now, though?
Yeah.
Yeah, you haven't heard?
No, this is the first I've heard of it.
He died of... His brother said that he died of old age, but Desna told my friend here that Ariana that he died of unnatural causes and that his brother had something to do with it.
And Raziel's probably like, "Desna?" Maybe not. Maybe he lets it slide. But
Wait,
so yeah,
do I even know about Desna?
Yeah.
I mean, you would know that Desna is a different deity than the one you worship.
I know Desna's a
she
different
is a
deity, but I
very
don't know
popular
Desna's
deity.
involvement with Declaw Sar and all that, do I?
I don't know if you know that or not. Like, you probably, like, Amber might have told you about that, or Brugar might have told you. Somebody might have told you about it.
Yeah, but
Anyone
like
ever
with
told
your
me,
Desna-
with your knowledge of
Desna is
religion, you probably know.
Yeah,
I know
Desna is a
Desna's
very
deity.
commonly... Desna is a super commonly known deity, but I don't know how... I mean, I guess it's debatable how much the party told you before. Because you were traveling with it for a while, and everyone else certainly knew that, so... I assume it came up at some point, and you do know about Desna and Declaw Sar's relation.
Okay. Okay, so in that case, then yeah.
I mean, you've had to...
I would notice, like, oh, wait, your little pet person, whatever thing, worships Desna. Like,
My
maybe this
partner.
is the connection that I've been missing.
High five.
But I don't say anything. I don't interrupt.
Anyway,
I
yeah,
just
so
make
he
a mental
says...
note to ask you about it later.
Yeah, But yeah, he says, well, our relation was strictly business, so I'm afraid I don't really know anything about Ambrose or his brother.
I'm
Or
a
why-
sense motive on that.
I didn't even know he had a brother. You can think what you want.
Okay.
I didn't even know he had a
That's
brother,
weird.
though, let alone
He
one
didn't
that
talk
would want to murder him.
anything about Xander.
No, I just talked to Ambrose about building this gate. He said he'd have the money, and he somehow managed to get all the money.
Well, you might be amused to find out that his brother was using that portal after his death to harvest Darkwood.
Really?
I made a killing, he did, for what short length of time it was profitable. First world's
I'm
a dangerous
surprised.
place.
Yeah, I'm surprised the First World didn't throw him out themselves.
Oh, it practically did. That portal's destroyed now. No one knows who did it.
Really? Well, I can assure you it wasn't me. I wouldn't do something like that, I think, especially after paying such a generous sum to help build it. If
So it
that's
was
what you were
just
coming here to
ye
insinuate.
and Ambrose working on it?
Well, I don't know. He might have hired some other craftsmen as well, but on his end. But
Oh, just saying, because we've met someone else who didn't like Ambrose very much.
You ever heard of a guy named Darkstar Meteor Smasher?
he kind of just like looks at you for a little bit. He says, "Yeah, like looks like he's trying to gauge your gauge what you're thinking or something." And he just flatly says no.
And I tell him, and I say, the last isn't trying to pull your leg. I saw him too, but he was not the kind to want to talk very much.
Apparently,
Yeah, I don't
he
know.
had no good feelings for
Assume he gave us a phony name.
Ambrose, and I
That's
think
very
he
likely.
had something to do with trying to attune a tuning fork to a demi-plane that this tuning fork's attuned to. And she
I
pulls
do
out
tell
the
him,
tuning
though.
fork.
I do tell Athos what he kind of roughly looked like, and that his most prominent feature was the most floppiest of wide-brimmed hats you could find.
Okay, so you describe him, and he asked if he could see that tuning fork.
Sure, if you'll give it back.
Yeah, he says he will.
I bring up the point, like, how is it that Trissa, who has never tuned a tuning fork before, was able to do it so quickly and easily? If his purpose there was to do this, then why didn't he just
She's magic.
do it right away?
I'll be right back.
Oh, you're saying he's not? But he was like
I
holding
mean,
the
he
water
might
back with
have done
magic.
exactly the same thing, but dropped the device used to tune the tuning fork, and we just happened to pick it up and do the same thing.
But it just happened to be at the exact same time we went there. Like, it doesn't line up. It doesn't line up.
You also know there was a bunch of
He had,
papers
like,
there,
a
so maybe
lab
he might have been
or
doing other
office or
stuff
something
there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Anyways,
I don't know, you have to
ask- you should
just
talk
tuning the
to me
tuning
about
fork
it.
is my point.
No,
So-
they got wet.
Oh,
They got washed away
okay.
by the water. Yeah.
So Athos flings the tuning fork and listens to the sound of it and hands it back. He says astral plane.
Alright. Astral.
And he says definitely a demi-plane. One you probably could survive in, assuming that there isn't something too dangerous there. Very big one, too, I should add. Very spacious. And you remember, of course, that he's kind of a savant when it comes to point shifting.
Yeah.
Um,
Out of
But to answer
character,
your
that's
other-
why I brought it up.
right. To answer your other question, though, about this Dark Star Meteor Smasher, he said that he called himself. That surely must have been in jest. But it sounds to me like you're describing Oddvolden Teamir.
Ogden? Ogdvolden?
Oddvolden Teamir.
Ogdvolden.
I'll put it in chat for you.
Okay. I'm like, Ogden Stone Healer? Fuck yeah!
I'm back.
Yeah, he says, I think it was Oddvolden Teamir. Sounds like the
Who
name.
is that?
He says that's the name that would make sense to him if you just gave him that description, rather than the name Darkstar Meteor Smasher.
Oh, awesome.
He's another practitioner of conjuration magic that I've met on
So
some
you
occasions.
do know Darkstar Meteor Smasher.
I certainly don't know anybody who actually goes by that name. No. Perhaps this is just somebody who looks very suspiciously like him that I've met.
That is possible.
All right.
In
All
any
humans
case, though,
look the same
that
to
would
me.
be my guess, especially considering if he was in possession of this, or if he was where you made this tuning fork, I suppose. He's been involved with a number of very occult kinds of research, you might say.
Definitely this dude.
And I've certainly encountered him, although I would definitely not consider him a friend.
I mean, he did call himself Dark Star, not Light Star.
Yes, that should be your primary concern, for sure.
The clues
It
were
is.
there all along. Alright. Well, that guy sounds like our guy. Where
Hi.
might
Yeah,
he
he
be?
sounds like a bad guy.
Oh, so he's
Worthy
the
foe of
dangerous
magical
one.
Fantasia.
So, while I was gone, did we find out what this guy was up to, or what was going on?
No, we found out that
Oddvolden?
he's
Not much.
interested in the occult. If anybody wants to take notes, go ahead, but my character has 7 int.
Yeah, he's involved in some sort of occult level research kind of stuff,
I don't think any of
involving
us
different
have
planes. Athos doesn't like him very
Brugar
much.
has like 14.
Yeah, Brugar's probably the
Okay.
smartest one in our party.
Brugar's the new Amber of the party.
Yeah, he's the smart guy.
Oh no.
I know how to survive.
Last I heard,
That's it.
he'd been working with a guy named Delpho.
Delpho.
Oh, Delpho.
We know Delpho.
Well, I don't. I don't know if you do, but Brugar knows of the name.
I tell you, we
Brugar
do.
has heard the name.
I do.
Raziel's probably heard the name.
No, wait,
At
wasn't I
least.
there?
No.
That wasn't Philippe.
You were there when you guys met.
He had
The
long
other-
hair and a silly hat.
Yeah, he also had a silly
Like
hat.
whenever Amber found out about or went to ask about her past or whatever.
Amber left with him.
Oh yeah, I suppose.
No,
but
I met
that was,
Delpho
Croatia.
then.
No, that's not actually true. They're not both part of the Silly Hat Guild, or are they?
Oh,
We might be.
that's what the Silly Hat Guild wants you to think.
The Silly Hat Guild, their primary
First rule of
purpose is
Silly Hat
preserving.
Guild, don't talk about Silly Hat Guild.
Their only goal is to practice, expand the practice of silly hats and their use in society.
We should talk with Henrik.
But yeah, he's. He says that's last I heard, though. I don't know. I don't know if this was probably 10 years ago. He hasn't really. I haven't seen him since. But he's also an elf, so they've been known. Elves are known to disappear for long periods of time.
Yeah, that's kind of true.
And then when you find them again, they act as though no time has passed at all. They're very ephemeral that way.
Sounds like something Darkstar Meteor Smasher would do.
All right. Well, I mean, that was a lot of good information.
Yeah.
Thanks for reminding me to come here, Adiana.
All right. So what do you guys do now? He's like, well, anything else I can do for you now that since you're in my office?
Do we know where that guy might be about?
I'm afraid not. I don't really know. I've only ever seen him at, various conventions and whatnot. No, I don't know. I don't know if he teaches at any particular university or anything like that. I don't believe so.
I guess we'll just have to ask around.
Maybe in Kionin. I don't know. He doesn't seem the type, though. But if there's not anything else, I'm very busy.
Oh, fine.
Picks his papers back up
Thanks for your time.
Clicks them on the table in order to look busy.
Okay.
Until next time, Athos.
But
Always a pleasure.
be careful if you decide to follow up on that demi-plane. It didn't seem inherently dangerous, but the last one wasn't inherently dangerous either.
Oh, we have a new demiplane.
You mean other than the frickin' Golem Guardian?
Well, yeah, they
thing?
took you guys. He told you some properties of the tuning fork that Trissa got.
All right.
What does he mean? The last one didn't seem inherently dangerous. It seemed extremely dangerous from every perspective.
It's like the environment. Some
From what he could tell. Yeah, he didn't, because sometimes he's had tuning forks where he'll fling it and be like, this goes directly into the heart of the fire plane. You will die if you plane shift with it.
Yeah.
That isn't the case in this case.
That's a good way to party wipe. Let's commit mass Sudoku.
Just plane shift into the center of the fire plane. I mean,
or Japan.
Sure.
Anyways.
All right, so
that should be a Mantis game joke.
Japan was I had fun in the Japan. I had fun in the Japan part of the campaign.
A little bit more. Sorry to take a quick tangent, but I wish it was a little bit more like war campaigny and a little bit less. Okay, you just jump to the end of the war and you're winning or whatever. You do your battle.
I think it's because he asked
more campaign into it.
Yeah, I think he asked.
I said I wanted to, and everyone else said no.
Yeah, I think everyone else was like, "No, we don't want that."
Just like how I wanted to do kingdom building in Kingmaker. Same thing.
Yeah. So, all right, you guys going to rest?
Yeah, I'm going to
until the next day. Try to catch Xander.
Daggers.
Yep.
Okay.
Also,
we're going to confront Xander next day. We're going to go to his place of business and be there waiting for him, and I'm going to be dressed as Magical Fantasia.
Oh, no.
Okay.
See, I have 2 spell storing daggers now. Not only both my adamantine and my mithril both store spells. And they're both going to have bestow, curse, and they're both going to be curses that are -4 to
hold
d20s.
on. We know more about this other guy. Why do we need to know what this guy did to Ambrose again?
Because Darkstar Meteor Smasher didn't do anything to Ambrose.
Right, so that's fine.
But his brother did.
I mean, it is something to figure out. Like,
But I tell
it's obviously
Trissa,
wrong.
what business of yours is that?
Exactly, that's my
I'm
point.
an ally of justice. It's my business to go and put
Okay.
those who have committed injustices to justice.
But Trissa, the law is here for that sort of thing. That's what justice is.
But the law can
If
be
you-
bent around. And it isn't effective. Takes
But
time.
Trissa, if
I
you
don't have no
go
time
and
for that.
you
I'm
hurt
not
that
an elf.
guy, or even kill him, that makes you no better than him.
I'm not gonna hurt him. I'm not gonna kill him. I'm just gonna rough him up a bit if he doesn't come out straight.
But, I mean, if he tells you that he did it, then what was the point of knowing? It seems you already have some kind of suspicion. Are you doing this
Then
only
I'll
because...
do what... If he wants to fess up to his crime in front of the guards, then I'll gently escort him there.
Well, what if he doesn't?
Well,
And
then
you
I'll
have no
to
proof.
make him do it.
You have no proof he murdered anyone.
Maybe somebody
pretty
can
sure he
commune
did.
with their god and ask their god if there's a way to discern lies, such as a circle of truth or whatever it's called.
Or a spell called Discern Lies.
Yeah. I knew there was
That's right,
something.
that
I
That
just
might be a
wasn't
useful
sure.
spell for you to prepare.
But that's something we could do. Is try to interrogate him nicely through the means of magic.
But if he tells you he
That's
did
a
or he
fourth
didn't,
level spell,
what
man.
what are you going to
Yeah.
do about that? Burgard tells you that it seems like all you want is for him to admit it, when you already seem to think he did it.
Look, I want to get to the bottom of this thing because I don't really like taking his money if it's because of a murder. And if anything, it's to get my conscience straight.
But you've already made up your mind, Trissa.
Maybe
Nothing
he
he
didn't
says is
actually
going to
kill
change
him.
that.
Maybe he did. I'm gonna ask him. But he's not telling me, you know. He wasn't telling the truth the first time. So, he might need a little prompting to tell the truth.
And Burgard crosses his arms and shakes his head. He says, "It sounds self-righteous and selfish."
We should call this session Convincing Brugar.
It is. And I'm gonna do it anyway.
Alright.
If she's unrelenting, then Brugar's going to let her make her mistake. And he says that, then I'm getting on the first boat off of Corvosa. It was fortunate that we remembered to go and talk to Athos. That way I actually have some business here.
So Brugar's just gonna split up and take a boat back to Magnamar?
Yep, he is not going to be in the same place as they are if they go shake him down.
Well, I'm not going to shake him down. I'm going to protect Trissa if he attacks, but I want to ask questions because
I'll thank you for that,
I agree.
Savath, but I'm pretty sure that Xander isn't going to pose any danger to magical Fantasia over here.
I'm sure of that. And you know what? And I'll make sure that she doesn't go overboard. But I think he does owe us an explanation because she's right. He did pay us. And it is kind of on my conscience. I didn't really agree with the operation to begin with. And yet, for some reason, I went with it. And now I'm a little upset.
I say, well, perhaps that was your mistakes that you made.
Yes. You see, I'm not a mercenary.
He shrugs.
Well, you do you, boo.
All right.
Yeah.
So Brugar goes and gets fare for, or finds a way to get a boat
See
back
you guys
to
in a week in
Magnemar.
game time.
You have to leave at around now anyway. I
About
thought, right?
nowish, I think. I don't know. It's kind of a convenient thing too. But I don't know. Depending on how long you guys might still be playing, so I might come back. So I'm just gonna leave myself in the game and on Ventrilo.
That's fine.
Okay.
But yeah.
All right. Very worked out then. All right. Well, unless somebody else has something else they want to do for the day before, we'll just skip to the next day then.
No.
That's fine.
And yeah, Audiana was able to figure out where Xander's office in Corvosa is.
Okay, and do we have a way to make him tell the truth without physical force?
I don't know. That's something for you guys to figure out, I guess. What are you guys planning to do? Are you gonna stake it out? You gonna
I
break
hadn't
in
thought
and
that far ahead.
wait in his office? All right. So it's the morning of.
Interesting.
You think his boat is gonna show up? Probably it's due to show up sometime late morning or early afternoon.
Yeah, I'm
You
gonna
have-
be waiting in
You
his
have some
office.
time. Okay.
But like, if anybody has any way to make him speak, that's not involving, the brute force method. Now's your time.
I'll do something. Don't worry.
Okay.
We could always threaten to
I
throw
didn't
him
put
off
it
a
in my
cliff.
character sheet,
and
but-
I'm a Dimension Doris inside.
And if he
I'm
doesn't-
pretty sure if we threaten him, he'll just tell the truth because I think he's kind of a pushover. But if he doesn't, I have a backup plan.
Oh, okay.
Alright, so you just dimension door. You guys pass the front door into the.
Not just yet.
Yep.
Hold on. I just want to look up something. Might want to go to the oh, nope, you can't. Alright, yep, we go.
Okay. You guys do so. You teleport into, like, just past the front door into, like, a lobby. And inside, you see there is somebody standing there looking, like, actually he's sitting down on a, like, at a chair. It looks like he's, like, half asleep, and he's immediately startled. He looks up, he says, "Oh, what are you doing here?"
We are here to talk to Xander.
We're not open yet. And he stands up and he pulls out a weapon, and everyone can roll initiatives. We're just gonna do it without a combat or a map here, because
Okay.
it's kind of
Wait,
impromptu.
who's the person?
This is just some
Yeah.
dude who is sitting in a chair by the front door, and he immediately questions your
walk in.
authority.
Is he in, like,
You teleported it.
armor or anything like that?
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he's
I
wearing
didn't
some
know we were
armor.
teleporting inside the freaking thing instead of just walking in like a normal person.
Oh, the door
Yeah.
would have been locked.
Okay, Trissa. Could have
I
knocked.
need to open the.
Could have
I
knocked.
need to open the.
Could
There we
cast
go.
the knock spell.
I could have.
I don't really understand.
I could have cast
your
Bardic
people's
Knock, too.
methods, but it's effective. We're here.
I mean, we could say, well,
No,
our
it's
mistake.
fine,
We'll
full
go
fight.
wait outside.
No.
I haven't
feel
had
like-
action in like freaking weeks, so I'm fine to fight some random dude.
Oh my god.
I mean, not
Oh,
gonna
God.
kill him, but just put him in his place.
Having an action. Perfect.
I'm not even gonna full round attack him.
Oh, okay.
Oh, very generous of you.
I know exactly what I'm gonna do to this guy.
Man, you guys are too
Polymorph.
cruel. Too
They'll
cruel.
No,
Polymorph.
I'm just going to use a psychic hold person, aka Babble.
All right, here.
I got this. He has a weapon out?
Yeah, he basically stands up from his chair and pulls out a weapon. So let me hold on a minute. I gotta roll his initiative as well. Where are my dice? There they are. Where is his initiative stat on? Oh, there it is. Okay. All right, Savath, you get to go before him. So yeah, he stands up and he pulls out a weapon. It looks like he's wearing some sort of like light armor of some sort, like he is armed, and he's pulling out like a long sword.
Okay. Well, even though this provokes, I'm flat-footed. I'm gonna try to disarm him.
Or he's flat-footed, rather.
Right,
Okay.
right. Yeah.
Yeah, go for it.
I'm gonna like slap it out of his hands. I'm like, no. That number looks right. Okay. Maybe?
19. And his CMD is...
This is flat.
Yeah, that does it.
Aha!
His flat-footed CMD at that. So yeah, you knock his weapon out of his hand.
Do you grab it?
Yeah, do you
No.
grab it or you just let it go flying?
Well, I just knock it down to the ground.
You do that and he looks surprised and he yells out, "Thieves! Thieves!" And he pulls out a dagger and tries to stab you with it.
I didn't take anything. God damn it. This guy's delusional.
Let's see. Psh.
Thieves.
Does a 21 hit you?
God, who am I on? Okay, no, that does not hit. I'm on Savath.
Alright, he misses. He tries to stab you with a dagger and he misses. Does Gorg do anything now?
Oh, is it his turn now? Oh, okay. Gorg will ready an action to protect Savath if he starts, like, gaining control over her, I guess.
Okay. Just like snarls at him or something. Razel, what do you do?
I'm going to. God, I shouldn't kill him. I'll just attack him for non-lethal damage.
Yeah.
That can kill.
Alright.
True, but
Yeah, but you hit him with enough.
It takes a lot.
And
You have to basically do double their health plus their negative con, whatever.
Yeah, I know.
Okay, and
That's
I'll-
not out of the reach of Razael on a full round.
yeah, I'll full
Okay,
round him.
Maybe don't full
I said I wouldn't, but it's non-lethal, so.
You could
Subtract
theoretically
I guess
kill
you
him.
could
with
kill
someone.
not.
I guess you
I'm
could,
not
yeah.
okay. I'm not buffing myself at all.
Don't
Okay.
power
Okay.
attack.
And
Yeah, no.
and if he falls down, I
It'll be
won't
like that
keep
time.
throwing daggers.
You
If
can
I
It'll be like
fall
that
down,
time
I
that
won't keep
Nizzo-
throwing daggers.
You don't
It'll be
have
just
to
like that
kill
time where
them.
Nizzo one-shot some random guy in a boat,
Oh, yeah.
and he was like, "Whoops,
Whoops.
I didn't mean to do that."
That's right.
Okay,
He was
so my
assuming everything on the
-4
boat was super deadly, and it was not. All right, everything's at
It's
-4.
not.
everything subtract 4 from everything because I didn't do that. Yeah.
Yeah, they were like
Sure, you hit
level
him
ones or
twice, and he looks like you knock him unconscious, and we're out of rounds.
Okay. Great.
Burp, burp, burp.
So I
Wah,
throw
wah,
my
wah.
dagger with such skill that the handle is what hits him, not the blade.
Sure. You hit him only twice, but the 2 hits do it.
Yep.
Maybe you
Well,
stop
and those
after
are the first 2
hits.
that
I don't
you
know.
see. No one sees the other 2 that
Yeah, you might
would
not-
have
you
missed
might
if I
even
kept
throw
throwing.
those.
Does
'Cause
he
I guess
have
they
a
probably-
bullet
throwing
and
if he
90?
falls down.
Can I see?
They
who this
technically
guy
would have hit, I
No.
guess, if he was unconscious anyway. So yeah, you hit him twice, you knock him unconscious.
And then I stop, and no one sees that
Yeah,
I
he
missed
did.
anything at all.
Yeah,
which
he
is
did
great.
yell
It
out.
makes me look good.
He did
Good
yell out
job.
something. You're not sure if anybody heard him or not. But what do you do?
I cast knock on the door.
Okay.
Which door? The one we could have walked in?
The front door?
The front door.
Oh.
Yeah. Now that you're
Now
inside.
you do it.
Yeah, I guess you cast knock. I think it's a caster level check to try to unlock it.
Yeah. It's plus 21. Do I need to roll it?
No, I think that'll get it. DC is only like 20.
Okay. If nobody
isn't an
comes the
Nizzle
next
lock.
round, I am going to sit
Oh.
him back in his seat and make it so that it looks like he's sleeping.
You got a disguise check you want to do for that?
Yeah, sure.
Is there a hat somewhere you can tip over his head? Cover his eyes a little?
Okay,
gosh.
you do your best to make it look like he's asleep. And not just slumped over unconscious in the
You
chair.
average.
Yeah, I mean, the thing also, you're getting circumstance bonuses for the fact that it's a pretty believable disguise. Being unconscious, like being asleep is being unconscious, right?
Technically, yeah.
So,
Yeah.
Alright, you do that, but yeah, it doesn't seem like anybody's has shown up, at least not right away. Like a minute or 2 passes and nobody shows up.
So we'll wait here.
Oh,
Um,
alright.
you guys do anything while you're waiting?
Mm,
Make small talk?
are we in a like, can I poke and prod around in this room and see if there's anything incriminating?
Oh yeah, I guess we could look around.
Yeah, there you go.
Incriminating. Where's that button? Oh my god. Okay.
Okay. So you look around, you find some like business papers, like ledgers and such, and you can see that like like some of the older stuff, you can see that he was mostly making his money just off of like as like kind of a middleman. Like he was making money by dealing with other merchants and getting stuff from like one market to the other. So he was more like a shipping carrier. But yeah, then you see more recently he was making a ton of profit, and it's all like, dark wood trade that he was doing through his contacts with the that shipping company I told you guys last time. You see that he's got that, but it doesn't have anything much more recent than that because he hasn't been in Corvosa, so like the records here haven't been fully updated. You assume he's probably bringing more stuff to add into that, but from as part of his return trip. But you also find, as well, you find some notes written by Ambrose. They're kind of like the other half of the conversation that he wrote,
Oh.
communicating with him, like the other half of that conversation that Ambrose wrote to Xander.
Uh-huh. This is gonna be info.
So you see that one thing you see is Ambrose, like, he says he needs the money for he needs the money so he can be united with his lover that he so that they can share more time together. That she's from like another world, but he kind of writes for this like really kind of sappy, flowery kind of thing about them being destined to be together from across the plains and whatnot. And but he also reassures his brother that it would be worth it for him because he mentions the Darkwood specifically in there. He says that perhaps if we open a permanent portal, we could also use that. You could also use that to like make some money, and perhaps in the long run, portal will pay for itself.
But if he was with the nymph, he would have known that she would not have approved of that.
Yeah, it's strange, isn't it?
Huh. Plus, she was under that weird trance curse spell effect. So who knows?
Was she under a trance curse spell effect?
She seemed.
What do you guys actually know about the nymph? She definitely seemed enraged.
Yep.
I don't know anything about it. Maybe you guys know, but
But she also seemed, thinking back on it, you think she also seemed confused.
Okay.
Like she didn't understand. Her dying words were that she didn't understand.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
But you're not really sure what to make of that.
Yeah. Maybe he thought he could get away with it, and it turns out. Huh.
No,
So
my guess is she doesn't understand why Xander did the things he was doing when Athos loved her, and I don't know. Who knows? She's dead then.
yeah,
That's why
maybe
we're
it's something
here.
maybe it's something you can ask Xander about when you guys see him again. Speaking of that, while you guys are looking through that, you hear the door start to the doorknob kind of start to turn. Do you guys do anything hearing that?
Yeah, I get in my best imposing superhero sort of stance.
Okay. And he opens the door, and he kind of is like not really paying full attention as he opens it. He just kind of walks past it, and he looks up all of a sudden, and after taking like a few steps in, he's like, "Ugh!" He kind of drops what he was holding. He was holding like some papers that he was like looking at as he was going through the door. And he says, "Well, what are you doing here?"
Justice cannot escape magical fantasia, Trissa said.
Are you daft? What? How'd you get here before me?
Justice cannot escape magical fantasia.
And he reaches over to the guy sitting next to him and do something about this, and the guy slumps over off the chair. And
Savas says he'll be fine.
he's just taking a nap. Is no problem.
We have some questions.
he drops the papers and turns and starts. Looks like he's about to start running away.
Oh no, I'll try to grab
Roll
him.
initiative. We're gonna go into
maneuver him.
We're gonna go into turns. Roll
Oh,
initiative.
goody.
Okay.
Alright, don't let him
Can I
run!
just like take 10?
No, roll.
No, you can't take 10s on initiative.
Okay.
You can take
I
a 1
didn't
if you
collect
want.
My
You
token.
can take a 1 if you want. Yeah, that's true.
That's
Wait till the end.
tempting.
So let's put that back at 20.
Okay, you guys probably got him. He rolled really low.
Okay.
So let's see here. Savath gets to go first. You see, he's turning. He throws his papers. He's about to start running. Do you have anything you want to do to stop him?
I grapple him too many times, apparently. I got really excited.
You run over and grapple him. You succeed. You have him grappled. Magical
There we go.
Fantasia.
Just in case, I'm gonna make him babble.
Oh, babble, yeah, okay.
Okay.
Make me a will save. DC 20.
He fails. He babbling
He breaks out into a fit of uncontrolled babbling.
and can do no other actions. Okay. We might just be able to go out of rounds really fast. Gorig, Raziel, either of you do anything?
Gorg closes the door.
Okay, Gorg moves past him and
I'll let
closes
you
the
guys
door.
handle it this time. I feel like knockout is not the correct approach here if we want to get answers.
Nah.
Probably not. Okay, so on
You
his
got
turn, he babbles. Savath, you're gonna try to maintain the grapple and pin him?
Yeah, let's
Is that the play
do
here?
that. Let's
Alright.
add a 5 to that, so 21.
5 to that. So yeah, that's good enough to pin him now. And I'm assuming you guys have some way to
Yeah.
Oh, I have
like tie him up or
manacles.
something. Yeah, you have manacles. So yeah, there you go. Trissa moves over with the manacles
Of
there.
course.
All right, we're gonna.
Magical
We'll take it out of
Fantasia
rounds
has
then.
Manacles.
And I say, why
out of
are
rounds
you
again.
running? We just want to talk.
He's like, I've seen what you could do, and if you came all the way to Corvos after me, you must think I did something.
You must be guilty for going straight to that assumption.
No, of course not. I'm perfectly innocent.
What if I was going to
But
ask you about the
I
house?
I just know your type. You're the type that jumped to conclusions really quick.
Sounds like you're jumping to conclusions.
You know, like
really
2
quick.
weeks later, very quick.
I was just here to ask about
But yeah,
the
that's what he
plumbing.
says. That's what he says. You guys jumped to conclusions really quick. I gave you everything. I give you everything else I had besides my business and my great amounts of wealth that I still have. But I gave you everything else. What more do you want?
Answers?
Justice.
Like, she rolls her eyes.
For your
when
brother's
she hears
death.
Justice. She's getting tired of that word.
And the death of that nymph.
Oh, you killed the... Are you daft? You killed that nymph. Actually, he doesn't even know what a nymph is, I guess. So he probably is like, what are you talking about? No, he probably realizes who you're talking about. So yeah, you killed her. That was you.
Because we thought she was doing something ill. You beguiled us into believing so.
Wait, well,
He's like, what are you talking about? I didn't do anything. I just sold Darkwood. I'm just a simple merchant.
I grab the papers that he had and start sorting through them.
Alright. He's like, hey, those are private documents.
Okay. She doesn't care. She does it anyways.
Yeah. What's wrong with you people?
I'm not civilized.
He looks at Raziel and he says, you haven't said anything? Are you just gonna let them get away with this?
I know that you're not as innocent as you pretend to be. My god told me. Or no, actually, no, that wasn't me. That was her.
No,
But
that's
what,
how you
I'll
interpreted
bluff
your
it.
dream,
Whatever.
That's fine. You can...
You can
Yeah,
interpret that dream as you wish.
Yeah.
It
Oh my God.
was metaphorical, so I
Maybe
mean,
it's breezy in the room.
yeah, maybe. Raziel like tilts his
No,
head. He's like, I think I hear the waves crashing on the docks.
Oh my god.
It's a sign from my god telling me you're guilty. My god speaks in mysterious ways.
He does.
Alright, so yeah, he's like, there's no justice here. You just coming into my office, breaking into my own private property and beating me down, trying to get a false confession.
We did not beat you down, and we did not break in. That guy's clearly asleep, sleeping on the job. You should hire better people. And the door was unlocked, and we found him asleep when you arrived here, and when we arrived here.
Okay, so I say enough of this, and I touch Xander, and I cast and touch Xander with a touch of truth-telling.
Ooh.
Okay.
I spellcraft
what is that
this
spell?
What's happening?
Touch of
here you go.
what?
Touch of truth-telling, man.
Touch of truth telling. I'm looking it up right now. So is he gonna save?
He should, just like Zone of Truth. So we'll save DC is for my level 1 spells, which is probably 15 or something. 14. DC 14 will save. Yeah, maybe I should have done Zone of Truth.
Nope. He fails it.
Okay, so he shines like a orderly being, like an Archon or something, for a brief instant, so we know that he's under the effects. And now
Yeah,
I ask him,
You can see
what
like
involvement did you
the
have?
visage
in
of Gosray
death?
above him.
Oh, dope.
It says he is compelled to tell the truth. He tells you.
And, yeah.
He says, my brother wanted to shut down the Darkwood mining operation. But I'd already invested
about
too
that
much.
part.
I'd have lost too much if we weren't able to continue it. And so I kind of hit him in the back of the head with a tree branch.
As you do.
And then I hit him again and again and again.
Jesus.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
All because you didn't want to lose your business, but you ended up losing your business in the end anyways, at least there.
I know. Don't you think I have suffered enough?
I don't think you suffered at all.
Nope.
Emotions is not suffering. That's pain, honey.
Alright, so what do you guys do now? He's still under the effects of this, too. You can ask him some other questions.
Well,
I mean, that's all I wanted, but,
what happened?
do you have any money? No, I'm kidding.
What about the nymph after you killed him?
I
What
put
happened?
a piece of paper and a quill with some ink on it in front of him, and I asked him, could you write that for me, please?
Well, it's not like we can
Well, he's kind of handcuffed right now.
deliver the spell to him again if we need him to recite things. But I am curious to know what happened. What did the nymph do after you killed your brother?
Well, she wasn't there when it happened.
Okay. So you sent... So how
But
did...
she didn't do anything at first. But eventually, she started harassing harassing my logging men,
Right.
my lumberjacks. Before eventually captured, and that's when I hired you.
Mm-hmm. And you failed to give us these details. And I think that's what Triss
Of course,
is
I
getting
knew-
at, is the nymph had the
I knew what you might
also.
think.
We could have prevented that.
I mean, if I were
didn't-
to be so foul,
I
as
didn't
kill
want to
my
kill
brother,
my
I also
brother.
wouldn't tell the truth to people.
I didn't want to kill my brother, but he forced me to. You understand?
No.
He forced you to.
No.
Unless he used a compulsion spell on you, I don't think he forced you to do anything.
He even said the nymph was okay with us mining it. It wasn't until later she changed her mind and said we couldn't anymore. But I had already invested thousands of gold into it. I needed to recover that money somehow. And in the end, I didn't even recover any of it. I still ended up negative at the end of the day. I nearly lost everything in that stupid venture. I like to think I learned my lesson.
Oh. I'm not sure that's true, because you had full intentions of starting it back up.
Yeah, until somebody smashed the portal.
Yeah, so if you learned your lesson after you killed your brother and we killed the nymph and your men were held hostage, but you still had intentions of doing it. Anyway, Savath isn't convinced he learned his lesson, and will recommend we take him to his local authorities to report a murder.
So I don't think you really just that the door was really unlocked here, and my guard's clearly unconscious.
No, we take him back to Magnemar
somehow-
with us.
Why?
Because that's where the murder was, well, as close as could be to where the murder was committed.
His brother, was he a resident of Magnemar? Yeah, I guess. We have
Yeah.
his house,
Yeah.
so... Yeah, I guess Magnemar would be the right place to trial him.
Either that, or we take him to where there's really jurisdiction, and take him to the first world and just leave him
Court
there.
of Fae.
That's like the chaotic evil thing
There
to
you
do.
go. You wanted it so much? Here you go. No, once he finds a way out, he'll just use that to get
Yeah, and then
back.
he all of a sudden feels like he has a revelation,
Oh.
and he says, "You were the one that broke in, weren't you?
Broken.
No, we weren't.
You were the ones that broke the portal. I know it. Who else
Nope.
could have got in? Who else could have got in undetected, like you did here? You did that there too."
Shit. It all makes sense. Wait, did Magical Fantasia do this?
He starts thrashing around.
Okay, so what if all of that was true? How does that change the fact that you killed your brother over a fucking business decision? She says a different word, I'm sure.
And he just thrashing around yelling obscenities.
Oh, well, I mean, I'm
Alright, what do you guys do?
keep him pinned down to at least prevent him from doing any harm to anything.
So yeah, you guys gonna take him?
I mean,
You guys take him back to Magnemar then?
yeah, the question is how are we gonna do it?
Yeah.
We could take him back on a boat, that might cause a ruckus. Or we could get there before Brugar gets there and knock him out, and now he is not considered willing or unwilling, he is helpless, and I can just use teleport.
Yeah, you can teleport unconscious people with you. So you could knock him unconscious and teleport back to Magnemar with him. That is an option.
Can you teleport that many people? Did we figure that out?
Yeah, we
Yeah.
don't have Brugar.
Brugar was left yesterday on a boat.
Oh.
Yeah.
I knew the part
This
that
g-
Matt was leaving. I knew the part where he didn't want to do this. I didn't hear the part that he was going back on a boat.
Yeah,
Okay.
Brugar was like, I will have no part of this, and Brugar sailed away. He's like, I can be back in Magnamar, or yeah, I can be back in Magnamar in a week, so I'm just gonna do that. And he's like, well, at least we got something out of Athos, so it wasn't a wasted trip for him either.
So
Yeah.
yeah,
So
I
is
think
that-
we do that. We knock him out. We teleport back.
Okay.
And we hand him over to the authorities.
Okay, you go turn him into like Man Fountain or somebody, and
Yeah, and we
Yes,
say that
man
he
found
confessed to
it.
murdering his brother, hiding his brother's body in the first world where he committed the murder.
yeah, and you tell them if they ask him it under like a zone of truth or something, they'll be able to confirm that story themselves as well.
Yeah.
And yeah, okay. So let's see here. We've kind of wrapped up a couple loose ends here, right?
Yep.
A little
Yes.
bit. You guys have figured out who Darkstar Meteor Smasher's real name likely is. It's possible it's not, but you can be fairly certain that that information you got from Athos is probably lines up with that. You figure out a little bit of information about that, a little bit about maybe what he was doing there. You got the information of the tuning fork, and you got the information. You actually now know what happened to Ambrose.
Yep.
You still don't know the
And,
full story yet. You don't really know,
Right.
like, for example, the nymph apparently was okay with him harvesting Darkwood for some reason,
So
and
he
then
says.
said it was not okay. That's what he said. He was telling the truth when he said that, as far as you could tell.
Right.
But maybe there's like a
at least
higher
he was telling the
up
truth of what
opinion or
he.
something.
Yeah, well, he was telling the truth about what he knew, because that's like the thing too. If he could tell a lie if he doesn't know he's telling a lie.
Mhm.
Right.
If that
it's
makes sense.
possible
But
his brother was like lying to him.
Maybe that's what she
That
doesn't
still
understand.
doesn't, justify murder.
you guys also
Raziel,
have
can you keep
taken.
a secret.
You guys have
You say
murder. You guys
Raziel?
knocked this guy unconscious and took away his employer, so now he's gonna be out of a job. I hope you guys are happy.
Very.
Yeah, he'll be fine.
He'll land on his feet, I'm sure. All right, so yeah,
He's gonna become our super villain
And-
later.
Brugar will show up again back in Magnamar in about a week.
Okay.
But you guys have a week basically where he's on a boat without you guys.
Maybe we shouldn't tell Brugar what happened.
I mean, he'll find out even if we don't tell him.
Really though? Yeah, that's fine. Either way, it doesn't
I
really matter
mean-
to me.
Eventually, like, Man Fountain's gonna, like, run into us again and be like, oh, good job with,
Oh, okay.
that
Catching
Xander guy.
Xander. Yeah.
Alright.
Good job exposing his corruption and murderous ways.
Yeah.
Well, we technically didn't fight him. I just put him on the ground. Quickly.
We technically didn't hurt him until we knocked him out. But that was after we had figured out he was a murderer.
It's true.
Good
Yeah,
job,
this is a
team.
lot like Lion King. Scar is Xander.
Yeah, sure. Who's Simba?
Simba is Magical Fantasia.
Oh, okay.
I'm not related to Adros,
Ambrose?
whatever his name is.
Yeah, but you're the hero of the
This is definitely
story.
Not Lion King.
And Xander
It's
tried
like
to
Lion
send you
King, except for all
away
those parts that are nothing like it. That are nothing like
and never
Lion
return. Only instead
Yeah.
of sending you away, he went away. And one day you're going to be king of Magnamar. See, it all lines up. Queen, I guess, but it all lines up. It's perfect. It's Lion King.
Perfect.
I have no ambitions to be mayor of Magnamar.
Not mayor, queen.
Are you gonna turn it into a monarchy?
Or queen of Magnamar. I
One
shall
day,
protect
all the land you
Magnamar
see
from
will
the
be
shadows.
yours.
From all of the wrongdoers.
Hakuna Matata. What a wonderful phrase. Anyways, are we stopping here? Or do we have more?
We're gonna be stopping probably pretty soon, but you guys got any other stuff you want to do now?
Raziel, can you keep
I'm
a secret?
really... Oh, yeah.
There you go.
You asked me that earlier, and I wasn't sure if you said Raziel. Yes, I can keep a secret.
Trissa opens her portable hole, pulls out an adamantine pickaxe, puts it back in.
I knew it! I knew it! I was like, oh, it all made sense.
Yeah, now everything's
How did
pieced
you know,
together.
though? Why?
Because I didn't like he wasn't doing something he should have been doing.
Yeah, it all goes back so that when you guys first came back
Yeah,
for
no,
the
I agree with it.
is when you first came back from the first world and she told him he should stop the operation. He's like, "No, I'm not going to."
Right?
That was their solution. So Mantis actually messaged me after that session, says I sneak in with I go buy an adamantine pickaxe, I sneak in and I smash the portal in the middle of the night. So
But I thought we saw
like, all right.
someone else go in to buy the pickaxe.
you did. She didn't buy it directly. She has friends
she
in
had
low
someone else do it.
places.
Right.
Yeah, she has friends in low
okay.
places. So she hired somebody to
okay.
buy it for her, basically.
At the end here, I was like, wait a second. It was us, only we didn't know it was magical.
Yeah.
Like,
I was kind of hoping I was really hoping you guys would figure that out eventually because it was
All right,
hilarious.
Zach, are you guys done Batmaning?
Yeah. So
It was
you
an
they
back
found
excellent Batman session.
they found out who broke the portal. So
Yeah.
or Raziel did at least.
Well, yeah, I guess Savath
No one else
doesn't know.
knows.
Nobody else knows actually.
Savath
But
would approve.
Only-
She'd be like, "Oh, good." Okay.
Only Trissa and Raziel know.
What'd you do with the dude?
he got
They took him
they
back
beat him
to
up.
Made him tell the
Magnamar and,
truth.
We didn't beat him
and-
up.
handed him into the guards. Man found him.
They basically put him under a truth zone effect and had him confess to murdering his brother, and then they teleported back to Magnamar and turned him over to the authorities there.
So we kind of.
So they actually got back to Magnamar for you.
Oh, I'm sure.
But yeah, he basically
What did Raziel
explained.
I
He learned to
deduced
smash the portal.
/ learned who smashed the portal.
But
Oh,
di-
okay.
But I
Has
guess
that been shared with
Brugor
the party?
doesn't. No.
It has not been shared with the party, but out of character, everyone knows that it was Magical Fantasia.
Yeah, and
Really?
actually, yes, really, and during this confrontation at the end of it, he actually accused the party of smashing the portal
That's true,
too,
he did.
because he realized that they teleported. That what they did is they teleported into his office, past the door, and like knocked the guard that was sitting, like the security guard, unconscious, and waited for him to show up there. And he's like, "How did you guys get in here?" And then you like realize, like, wait a minute, if you guys got in here, you guys must have been the ones. You guys are the only other ones that knew about the portal and would have teleported in and smashed it. So he started yelling at them for smashing the portal, and turns out he was kind of right.
Kind of right.
Only most of you guys didn't know about it.
But we were also right about him. So.
Yeah. But yeah, no, Magical Fantasia snuck in the middle of the night with that adamantine pickaxe and broke the portal.
Brugar is gonna have to be the one to put Magical Fantasia down sooner or later.
Well, Brugard doesn't know.
You and your.
Yeah.
The truth will out though.
The truth.
Maybe.
He'll find out eventually.
The only people that know are Raziel and Magical Fantasia.
I'm gonna
not
have to
about
be
tell.
your whatchamacallit. I'm gonna have to be your Commissioner Gordon to your Batman.
Yeah.
No, we're saying this is Lion King, right? Because
No,
I
no.
was saying this is Lion King because Xander is Scar, who kills his brother, and then like tries to take over the whole like business or become king, aka take over the business. Like, yeah, it's same
This
thing.
was totally a Batman session.
It wasn't even
I needed
taking
some
over
help
the
though.
business. It was
Yeah.
to prevent his business from going away.
Oh yeah, that's right. But yeah, to get what he wanted.
So what we
It's
learned,
basically they're
Matt,
basically
is
lying.
that he was under the impression that he can farm the wood. Like his brother said, the nymph said it was okay, but then apparently she changed her mind and didn't think it was okay, and he was upset because he invested so much money in the operation that he wasn't willing to just pack up and go. So he said he hit his brother with a stick many times.
In the head.
Yeah, in the back of the head.
Over and over.
So,
Yeah.
Agreed.
It's like the Chicago song, He Had It Coming.
He had it coming. He had it coming.
So is that the session, I'm guessing?
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Yeah, I think we're wrapping it up here. I'm gonna give everybody some experience and quite a bit
Oh,
because we
okay.
kind of wrapped up a lot of loose threads there.
I hope I get to do some fighting soon.
Yeah, we need some.
There was
I had
some
next
not
time.
really fighting that we
Yeah.
encountered.
We rolled initiative, but yeah.
We rolled initiative and you guys fought you fought Xander sort of and also a security guard, but the security guard was like a fourth level fighter or something, and like
right.
Xander's a commoner or an expert or something. Like he's got NPC classes, so it was pretty straightforward. It wasn't really much of a combat. It was mostly just to stop the situation from escalating any further.
Wait.
Wait.
We're not quite. We're like 1,300 experience off.
No, we leveled.
If my number's right.
That's 10,000.
No, that's 10,000 total.
Okay, my number must
Yeah,
be
we
off.
were,
Then how
we
much
were at
experience do you have?
148,000. Well, no, sorry. We're at 148,700 now.
Yeah, we just
were
leveled.
at
I missed 5,000 experience.
138,700.
I'm guessing that was last session. I didn't write it down.
Give yourself the amount of experience.
Possibly.
I have been keeping track
Okay.
of the experience.
Because I think we got 5,000
Wait,
last
what are we
last
at?
session.
148.
You should be leveled up now, I think.
Yeah, we leveled up then.
We're at that much.
No, you're off by.
I know I
100.
didn't input a session, and so that's gonna make up that number there.
Listen, Batman, you can't just say that you're at that much. We need someone who
I have it
hears the law
recorded.
to tell us how much XP we have.
Okay.
That.
My whole
I
my
mean, maybe
whole
I
roll
typoed
20
it.
is a white screen, so good thing we're done, I guess. Pluto, I hit the button to see all chat logs from this, and I see Stephen D at the top.
Ooh,
Yeah,
another,
caffeine.
ability score.
Feels bad.
Oh, nice. My bluff, disguise, intimidate, and
Dude, they have
diplomacy are at
every
+8
chat
now.
message.
My constitution is finally at 20.
But yeah, like I said, I was really hoping that you guys would eventually figure out that it was Trissa that broke the.
Yeah.
Because it was hilarious to me when you guys were trying to investigate it, and I'm like,
It was hilarious to me, too.
yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, the whole
no.
who broke the portal thing and like whether this guy murdered his brother or not was definitely not a Brugar thing. He
Mhm.
absolutely did not care.
Yeah. It's
Like,
funny too that they're
Savannah
completely
cares
unrelated too.
Because she doesn't feel that Faye died justly, because she was confused.
Oh, yeah.
You know, so she feels bad about that. You know, and I think that's the
Yeah,
only
as
real
did
driving
Trissa.
force for Savath.
Yeah, I'm not sure if we're gonna revisit the that first world storyline too much more. So I don't know if you guys want me to just like reveal some more stuff about it that you guys didn't find out.
I don't.
Or
yeah,
if I
don't
should
think we're gonna
not do it
pursue
right now.
it. I mean, we jailed the guy. And
I don't know, whatever you want.
the portal's gone. So
Unless, I mean, if you have stuff that you want us to find out on our own, then don't tell us. But if you don't really have much more, you just want to like share
I
some
don't know if
other
there's-
interesting bits, then that's fine.
Right. Well, there's some other interesting stuff. But I don't know if there's any way that the party's going to uncover it, really.
Hmm.
Which is basically kind of like what was actually going on with the nymph and like why she was confused
We would have to
and why
read
she
it.
I have
agreed
no
to allow.
ambition to figure this out.
Okay, so
Razai,
the reason- the reasoning that I had, First World operates off of like strange ways depending on where you're at in it, and the particular area she was at was a spot where she never experienced the concept of death before, like at all. So she didn't actually get what they meant when she was talking about harvesting the darkwood trees. And once the darkwood trees started disappearing, they were like cutting them down.
Oh, okay.
She's like, I don't want that anymore. And the other thing too is when you killed her, she didn't realize what was happening because she'd never experienced it. She didn't understand the idea of things dying, and that's the other thing too. She didn't. That's why she, if you remember, she didn't
she's
seem like she
confused.
acted. Yeah, she didn't act like. Well, she also didn't act like she knew that she'd killed those other guardsmen. She's like, they aren't answered my questions. It's like, well, that's because they're dead, and she does not compute. What are you talking about? So she kept asking these dead lumberjacks. I mean, to tell her where Ambrose was, because that's the other thing too. She didn't know Ambrose was dead either. She didn't understand that idea. On a side note, though,
she
you guys
killed him,
actually.
though, right?
Oh yeah, she did kill him, but she didn't understand she was killing them because she didn't understand. She didn't understand the concept of like death, because she'd never, that part of the First World she was in at that point had never. It was like it was an area where just death doesn't happen. It was like a timeless part of the because pockets of the First World follow their own weird rules sometimes, and that was what I was going with. There was that section of it. There was no death until basically humans brought it with them through the portal. Like they brought death with them.
Oh, I know what spell I need.
The other
I
thing
need
is
to
you actually did see Ambrose's dead body. It was that undead thing that attacked you.
Ah.
It was attacking Xander originally, but you guys intervened and stopped Xander from getting Ambrose from getting his revenge as a undead
Yay.
monstrosity. But that actually was Ambrose. So technically, if you guys had gone in and said we found his body while we were there, that would have technically been kind of true. But again, we don't have this party doesn't have a whole lot of the really investigative types that are able to uncover a lot of that stuff. So
No.
I don't think there was any way that you guys, especially now, I don't think there's any way you can go back and find it. And it was hard for you guys to get that information back then too. But yeah. So I'm glad that story's wrapped up. You do have another loose thread, which is the Oddvolden, what he's doing. And potentially, if you want to follow that tuning fork.
If Brugar was somehow able to know all that, he'd tell Trissa that, see, you getting him to tell you was pointless because the real revenge, the rightful revenge, was something that we stopped.
Yeah, I don't like people dying in general.
But anyway, I hope you guys had fun.
Brugar does not approve of her
course.
vigilante ways.
But yeah, I think Brugar
I do
and Razai
promise-
both are itching for some strong combats.
I do promise that there will be combats upcoming. There would have been
Yay.
potentially in this session, because I had something else prepared if you guys kind of just sat around and didn't do anything. I was going to have something else come to you guys that would have involved a little bit of combat, but you guys were proactive enough I didn't need to pull that out. So it's still there, though. I have it prepared still, so it might still happen. That might still happen as well. And there's some other stuff as well now that you guys have it kind of unlocked as well. But yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm not picky about anything or expecting my character to get involvement.
Mhm.
I think I also realized that Brugar is this kind of character is he doesn't play super well into the party or the story.
Yeah.
Well, not what we're doing right now.
These,
But if we pursue
these sessions have been more like
Skills.
some of the earlier sessions we had, actually, I feel like.
Yeah.
Well, I also feel like Brugar's goal, like not his conscious goal, but his like out of character meta subconscious goal is to actually become an NPC. Because all he wants is fame and wealth. And like, once he has that, it's like, all right, well, I don't need to adventure anymore.
I'm retiring. Got a house.
You can
I'm
always
well
get more
known around
famous.
town. Yeah.
You can always get more wealthy.
Yeah, but the problem is that requires much more danger, and he's already seen what that can do. So he's just
True.
like trying to find like, all right, might be enough money. Like if he could open a mercenaries guild and run it, that would be like very satisfying for him.
Well, that's always a thing too. Is you could theoretically just have him actually retire and just play another character, but not saying necessarily that now is like the time to do that. But that could be something that could happen as well. But we'll see. We'll see if you end up getting. Maybe you'll get pulled back in character here as more events unfold. But I mean, that's something to keep in mind as well.
Yeah.
I do plan to at
next
some point.
session, our plan is to recklessly go into the demi-plane of the Tuned Fork that we have no idea what's there, except that it's not going to instantly kill us.
Yeah, well, a few things about it. It's apparently very large and spacious, and you can live on it. That's about all you know. Oh, and it's on the astral plane, but that doesn't really tell you. Like it's a code. It's like that's like any demi plane. Most of them are either on the ethereal or astral plane. Like there are pockets inside of those two planes. One of those two usually.
There, I actually have enough health now to survive a Whale of the Banshee, even if I failed to save.
Nice.
I have 142 HP. With
Raziel has a spell he could potentially use to counter a Whale of the Banshee.
It's just like bonus to saves against death effects, right?
No. You have an even better one. It's a level 2 spell.
Silence.
I don't know.
Silence. Yeah.
Silence.
You throw silence. You throw silence on
does Whale of the Banshee spell work like a Banshee's Whale? Because I think it's different, right?
It works
No,
like the
it's sonic.
spell, but it has a sonic descriptor, so it's shut down by silence because of that.
Right, so I think the spell doesn't work with a silent spell, but I know that a actual Banshee's Wail is so supernaturally loud.
Oh yeah,
it can
yeah,
break a silence effect.
yeah. The Whale of the Banshee spell-like ability does not do that.
Unless it's actually like a Banshee's howl.
Right, but I'm saying
Or-
I'm saying a Demi-Lich's Whale of the Banshee doesn't do that. It has
Yeah.
some other scary abilities it'll use instead.
Oh, that's a
if
supernatural.
it can't do
okay.
that.
It's not a spell-like ability.
Oh,
what
nice.
is?
My saves all went up by one.
It was fun, Pluto. Good session. I think right for action, but definitely good to get all the questions answered.
Right. I mean, that's like the thing too. Is this is the kind of campaign I like to run. So I do apologize to people that want lots of action, but that's unfortunately like not. I mean, there'll be some, but there's gonna be.
You give us a bunch of story. We're gonna ask for action.
There's gonna be
a bunch of action. We're gonna ask for story. Like
Yeah.
pleasing.
I was very
Unfortunately-
content.
From
I
my
got to play
understanding
Batman.
is if we want
Oh, yeah,
action,
that's what I'm
we
saying.
have
I
to,
was
like,
happy.
seek it, you know.
Oh yeah, if you want to
Yeah,
force it,
I'm just saying
you
if
can.
it was
But
a
yeah,
whole nother session of like very little or no combat,
These
then I
are-
would probably be a little disappointed. That's all I'm saying.
yeah, these are the
It works
kind
great
of sessions I
now.
like running. So,
We need some more puzzles. I like puzzles.
We'll get.
Yeah, those
plenty
are
of
ones I
action on
don't-
Saturday.
Really?
I don't care for
like
puzzles as much.
chair one or whatever with like the. The
The first puzzle I threw at you, you were like, "I hate this. I'm going to sleep."
Wait,
Oh,
are you
yeah,
talking about
I
the
remember
stupid, game one or which one was it?
This was the one where it was a mansion where you walk through the doors and they teleport you different rooms and it doesn't make any sense.
And then Ron,
Oh,
You're
yeah,
like, I hate
that made
this.
no sense.
control over it.
That was stupid.
Yeah,
There was no, like, that was all chaos. When
It was
you
a
have
maze,
all the pieces
but-
laid out in front of you, and you can solve the problem, that's what I like.
Oh, okay.
Huh. So he likes visual puzzles, not listening puzzles.
No, I don't like random puzzles. I don't like RNG.
It wasn't random.
It wasn't random.
I can go show you my key to that map.
Okay, but was there any way for us to actually figure it out in a, like, logical way?
Yeah.
No, it was a maze.
That I don't like puzzles
The
where
same way you
where the
logic
best
out a maze,
solution
you
is
have to
random
go through
search.
it. You have to trial and error it.
Yeah, that's
Like-
how
Yeah,
you
random search is
trial-
not a fun problem-solving technique.
It is the problem
That's what I'm
solving
saying.
technique.
That's how science is done.
For some stuff, but
Look, you write a code,
The
you
point
send it
is
to your boss, and your boss says, no, there's a bug. He gives it back to you, trial and error.
that's completely not how it works at all.
You don't write perfect codes. Like,
No, but it's not like I'm randomly guessing how to do it.
we weren't randomly guessing either. We were experiencing and figuring it out. I don't know. Maybe I look at it differently.
What was this?
Yeah.
This game.
You
we were
weren't
in
there
the
for it,
house.
but
Oh, he wasn't.
I'm
It
going
was
to
awful.
upload these two
I
documents
forgot about
to
that.
Discord.
It's not that I don't believe that there was, consistency. I know there was consistency. I just am saying that there is no way for us to figure it out other than randomly guessing.
Well, no, we go through a door. We
That's
learn,
the part
we
that I
figure
don't
it out,
like.
We go through another door. We start.
Which is randomly guessing. That is what I said.
That's not
Like that's
guessing, though.
it.
Like, to
it
begin
is.
with, we didn't
Like,
know there was a puzzle, so therefore we had to.
Okay, do you want me to call it
experience
trial and error? I'll call it trial and error. Like that's the kind of puzzle I don't like. I like ones where you can see all the pieces, or at least most of the pieces, and then come up with a strategy that is better than trial and error.
Well, I mean, game masters take note. That's what Zerium likes.
Yeah, that's so. I guess my point is okay. I don't like all puzzles, but I wouldn't call that a puzzle. I would call that a maze.
Well, a maze is a puzzle. I don't know. Puzzle is a broad term, by the way. There's lots of different types of puzzles.
Yeah. I like the puzzles that were in like the temple-y place or wherever,
Oh.
and we had to like get to the big globe world because they were all like logical and you could figure it out.
What's the puzzle here? Or what's going on here?
Doors would take you
So
to
the
weird
first is
places.
the map I showed the party. I'm like, hey, you come into this mansion. And they come in the main entrance, and there's stairs going up, and there's stairs going... And then the bottom section is the second floor. So those are the stairs going down from the second floor. But the places don't lead, like, where they say they lead. So,
Like, I went
the
into the
first
bathroom,
one-
but then I went to leave the bathroom, and it took me somewhere else.
yeah. Exactly.
Because each way you go through a door takes you to an unknown location.
Well, there is consistency to it, though.
Yeah, there's consistency.
just-
It wasn't just randomly you get teleported
wasn't
to a
changing.
place in the
Yeah.
house. Like,
Right, but just
Uh,
because you go through the door doesn't mean you can just turn around and go back to where you were. You would end up somewhere else at that point.
yeah. If you close the door.
If you close the door, yeah.
Yep.
So it took us a moment to figure it out. And once we kind of figured out kind of what was going on, Ron figured out how to get us to where we wanted. Because Ron kicked into, like, gameplay mode, like one of the few times that he's really, like, to
Ron
control.
was so activated by this.
Oh,
No,
yeah.
Ron.
He was acting
Ron
because the girl
activates
was
in those puzzles,
frustrated.
You think
Yeah,
so?
he likes
I think
solving
so.
something
He
that
fed
I
off
don't
it.
want to do.
Yeah.
He fed off it.
He's like,
I would
oh,
think
he
so.
can't figure this out. I can. Maybe. I don't know. Little friendly competition.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it wasn't. I can't figure it out. It was. I don't want to figure this out.
I have it recorded, you know. We can always listen back on it.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely
Do
don't
you?
remember
This was one
all
of
the
my
details.
first sessions.
Yeah, it was. No, not the first one. This was.
It was pretty early on.
It was early,
The
but it wasn't.
third.
Yeah, it was.
It was. Yeah, it was really early.
I like that part of the campaign when we had like the. It was investigative. I don't know.
Yeah, I
But then
did
again, I like
that.
those. I like those style of game too, because obviously that's the kind of game I'm running.
I
A lot
did
of
like
times,
looking
so.
at the newspaper
But,
and
yeah.
like seeing different things to do and
Yeah.
choosing which one, but having some sort of
Yeah, sometimes
direction.
it's fun. It's fun when you don't know what you need to do and you end up like stumbling upon it. And you're like, yeah, I think we got it. Like I don't know. I enjoy those. I enjoy those types of games, but.
Yeah, it's fine. It wasn't like a super huge deal. I don't think. Maybe it was. Looking back on now, I didn't even remember it till you mentioned it. But yeah, I was frustrated with that.
I was so proud of myself for making my own like cool, interesting maze that the PCs didn't know was a maze until they figured out pretty quickly, oh, this is a maze.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think the main thing I felt was it's just like, well, there's nothing I can do. Like you could literally just roll dice and to figure out what decision to make. Like roll a D3 or
Yeah, but I
whatever,
mean-
D5.
A lot of puzzles are like that, where you can just try random things and eventually you'll solve it.
Right, but where that is the optimal strategy. That was the problem I had with it.
I mean, the optimal strategy was what Ron did, and I think he took notes of where everything led to. Like, he went and he drew this diagram on
did.
the page.
Yeah, he drew. We'd step through one and he would draw the line, the little line showing it. I think, like on the map.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
That-
you had to randomly, I mean, go as long as you didn't go somewhere where you've been before. Like, you don't go in the same door twice, but you can literally pick any door that's an option that you haven't already gone in to figure it out.
Okay, so don't put Zerdurium in a labyrinth. Got it.
I mean, if there's
That's exactly
clues
what I
or
would
hints
do.
or something, that would be different.
I think the real solution is we need to let Zedarian play a Minotaur character.
I know Minotaurs
Well, I
have something
get
to
the
do with
feeling
mazes,
that-
but I don't know what.
I get the feeling
Yeah,
that
they're-
Zedurium
They can
wouldn't,
always navigate.
it wouldn't be the
mazes.
same. It wouldn't evoke the same like thoughts and emotions if he knows that it's a maze.
Uh,
Okay.
I mean, maybe. I don't
Because I don't know,
remember.
I give Zerdurium some credit because I've had one of my friends who's DM'd in the past does a lot of those puzzles where it's like you can't solve them with character rolls, like you have to actually do them, and we've been stymied and frustrated pretty hard sometimes, and that's not fun.
Yeah, I mean, this wasn't. I'm frustrated because I can't figure it out. This one is the
I
best
think-
solution is to just try everything and just
Yeah.
keep note of what you tried.
I think
And
he
so I
liked
felt like
puzzles.
it didn't require me as a player to think.
Right, I think what Zedurium
solve
likes
it.
is like puzzles that I presented in Stargate or some of Mantis's
Oh, yeah.
dungeon ones. Because
Your
he can
freaking
look at
pyramid
it,
one. Oh my god.
because he can look at it and he can, like assess it. But this was like you gotta haphazardly stumble across things to start piecing together. And yeah, I guess the maze thing, I get it.
Yeah, and
Sounds like
I'm not saying
the
don't.
definition of
you
a
know, you have to be
jigsaw
so.
puzzle.
Yeah, I'm not saying you need to, like make sure all your puzzles have a, good strategy or be like game developer kind of
Yeah.
like puzzles in your game. But I'm just saying, as a player, that's what annoyed me is that it didn't require me to think. It just took time. And it was just like, well, this is really dumb because we could be here forever just trying doors. I didn't know like how big it was or how much it would take to do it.
Well, I mean, you could say that the maze is essentially a memorization puzzle. Is
Right.
that
Yeah.
the way you work through it is just to simply remember.
Yeah.
And that's a different kind of like. I think that takes like a different thought process, a way different thought process than
Probably.
logic puzzle. Because there is no logic and there's very little logic involved in that. Only that cause A has effect B.
Yep.
Oh yeah, Mantis wasn't
Anywho.
there. I completely stumped
It's
Zerdurian
all
on a
fine.
number puzzle.
We were all stumped by
Oh
that.
my
you were
god.
And I
all
think-
stumped.
Yeah.
I think
That one
I think what got
annoyed
us
me so much.
was because there was no way for us to realize that a 2-digit number was even a
A possibility.
option. I think for the
Yeah.
yeah, I didn't even realize that a 2-digit.
I guess I could
That was
have,
what
like,
got
put a
me, I think.
two-digit
That might have
number
been it.
somewhere in there, but yeah.
If
Was
one of the
that it, or
other
was it, wasn't it like we had to like use the other puzzles to solve the third puzzle or
well,
something?
yeah,
The other puzzles
yeah,
are
I
just
mean, there's a
examples.
pattern
I
in
think
there.
that's the part
Yeah.
that got me is I didn't realize that the other puzzles had anything to do with this puzzle. I thought it was just they were each their own self-contained individual puzzle.
Yeah, they were at it for
So yeah,
like, a
Secret's just like
while.
laughing in her head, and
Yeah.
we're like stuck for like 20, 30 minutes on
I
this
didn't think it was
puzzle
gonna
that
be that
was supposed to
hard.
take like 2 minutes. But I think Pluto and I both made false assumptions, different false assumptions about the
Yeah.
puzzle.
No,
Oh, that was good.
the
And
one
it
because
caused us
I remember
trouble.
I remember being I even remember getting it right basically, but then I was like, and then you have to add the two numbers together to get it to a single digit number or something like that, which was apparently not right. I don't even remember. It was something to do with like adding numbers up or something like that.
Oh
but
yeah, I was just adding the
um,
numbers. That's all it was. It's
but, like-
each triangle's
Yeah.
sum was in the next triangle. So you
Yeah.
would add up the outer triangles, and that sum would be in the triangle to the right, and then so on and so forth.
right. So like, yeah, I didn't
my
realize that it.
Jesus.
I think I had realized that at some point, but then for some reason didn't think we could input a 2-digit number. So, because none of the other ones had been 2-digit numbers, they'd all been 1-digit numbers. So I was like, I remember like, do you add the two numbers up or do we just drop? I know we did a lot of times where we were like saying we just have to drop that first digit, but
Yeah.
apparently no, we just put a 2-digit number in.
I kept wondering, Mantis, like, should I tell them? Should I just, like, this is taking forever. Should I just give it to them? I don't
That's
know.
the downside to doing those puzzles. Is sometimes
Yeah.
sometimes you get stuck on them and take forever, and then a lot of times people will be like stubborn about it and be like, no, we're solving this
No.
fucking puzzle, even if you give them a way out of it.
Yeah, I don't know. It's like I sometimes throw out puzzles like that in my game, but not all the time.
Yeah,
Because
I don't
I know if I try to make it too, like making it too challenging is just not fun.
Right.
Yeah, it's hard to hit the sweet spot where it's challenging enough to be engaging,
So
but
yeah,
not
if I
like
usually do
too
do a
easy.
puzzle like that, I try to make it kind of easy.
I like
Yeah.
A lot of the
puzzles.
times, like, the best puzzles for, like, players are the ones where it's like, it's just a fucking, like, weird D&D situation that requires just, like, some creative thinking, and the player, or it doesn't even require creative thinking. Like, there's a locked door to a castle or something. It's like, you could just pick the lock, or the players will spend 2 hours figuring out a way that you haven't even thought of to get into the castle through the sewers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like puzzles as a person, but here's my take on puzzles in some of the games that we've played. And that's kind of why I made my puzzle. Mantis wasn't present for that, but that's kind of why I made my puzzles the way I did, is because I wanted to see how an interactive puzzle would work in comparison to like some of the puzzles we experienced with Mantis, is because I felt like everybody wants to solve it, but like that's a lot of people trying to solve a puzzle.
You have to be able to visualize in your head, and only one person can draw on the map.
Right, you know, and
We
it's
ran into a
hard to
lot of
get
problems with
everybody
that.
to be able to participate, but I don't know. So, yeah, puzzles are kind of tricky because there is that thing where it's like one person isn't going to say anything at all, one person's going to do all the talking, another person wants to give input but maybe hesitates, or
Or
I don't
actually,
know.
one of a really good puzzle that comes from an AP and secret. You'll remember this is one of those ravens
Oh
riddles
yeah, those were
about
great puzzles.
getting the tusks. And the reason I liked that is because the players could try to figure it out just from listening to it, but in the next room, it gives them the choice of like, okay, here are some things. Maybe you'll find one that matches. So maybe even if you didn't understand all of the riddle, you can kind of figure out like, oh, like this might be it.
Right.
Like it's that kind of easy puzzle that I enjoy, that I think works really good for games like this.
Yeah.
It's kind of like when you see like a multiple choice test, like back in high school or something. It's like, okay, phew.
Mhm.
Even if I don't understand the whole question, I might be able to figure the answer out from seeing it among a list of other wrong choices.
Right.
They had so the free alien competition I did at work. One of the parts of it was basically a worksheet about reading a strip manifest. And so yeah, like I remember one of the other people that did it was like talking with it afterwards, and I knew how to read those because I don't know, I just know all those. But the other guy, he didn't actually, wasn't that familiar with it. But he said one of the questions asked how many guaranteed shipments are on the on this trailer, and he was like, well, I don't think there's any, because he didn't know what the code, like how they are identified on there. It's because they have a code GTE on it, means they're guaranteed. But anyway, one of the later questions says, what's the due date on the guaranteed shipment? So he's like, huh? Hold up a minute, there's at least one now. So he actually went back and changed his answer because of that. Because the later one
They
revealed
clued
that
him
there
in.
was revealed that there actually was at least one.
At least one.
Yeah. Probably only one, really, because if it's asking
Because
what's
it's
the
on
thing on the
the-
guaranteed shipment, like if there's two of them, unless they have the same date. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so my pluses to hit on Brugar
No
are pretty
takesies,
high now.
backsies.
I'm getting some pretty high to hit.
I
Yeah,
have
probably
one
level
of the
up.
best
My
conjuration
strength
spells
went
in the
up,
game now.
so that's good.
I have plus 22 to hit on just my normal
Oh my
damage
God.
attacks.
I can probably
I mean,
maybe...
I probably have somewhere around that if I buff myself up, but
And 22 is just on my normal hammer hits. If I'm doing combat maneuvers, my trip is at plus 30.